Hi, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Andromeda Adventures for Endara the Second Age campaign. We have everybody reunited once again. Hi, everybody. Great to have you back. We've missed all of you. We did have a fun episode last week where we just kind of sat around and chatted. We're looking at doing that again a few times, maybe doing something once a month with a few of the players or maybe the whole group where we can kind of sit around and round table discussion what's been going on with the game and the characters. If that's something you would like to see, please let us know in the chat. And feel free to comment during the game. We love to see what you have to say. And, uh, most of us are all here responding and watching the chat while they're in downtime or someone else has their scene. So, stay engaged, keep up with us. Other than that, I think the only announcement that we have to make is that there will be no episode on the 23rd, I believe. At least I have that off. But we might decide, if you guys are up for it, to do a one-shot. If you guys think you want to do a one-shot without your friendly neighborhood Frosty. What do you guys think about that?
23rd?
February 23rd. February 23rd.
February 23rd.
Oh, February.
Oh, that's a ways away.
Yeah.
Come back to me later on that.
Yeah.
Just trying to give
gives us
some
time
advance
to think
notice.
about whether one of us would like to DM.
I would like to DM, provided we get to keep all the magic items, because everyone just gets a +3 vorpal sword, and
I'd be up for DMing something like that.
yeah.
That would be exciting. Okay.
Other than that, just want to say it's good to have you all back, and it's great to see all of our viewers. I can see you.
That's terrifying.
No. Anyways, let's get into tonight's episode. I'm going to cue that intro, and we'll get going. So, see you guys soon. All right, and we are back. So, Magnar, will you please catch the audience up on what happened last time on Endara the Second Age?
Certainly. So we began last week, still in the library, and I finally snapped out of a bit of singing, a very catchy tune that got stuck in my head.
Shimshimi, shimshimi.
Yes, thank you. We don't have that starting off all over again. Into a library that was full of what appeared to be possessed books, with them flying all over the place, and some of us still singing. And Garth and Barry both seemed to be possessed and fighting each other. We did come across a pop-up storybook that, to my mind, was the key and secret to the whole thing. It was a sort of mechanical storybook that was playing, yes, admittedly, the tune that was somewhat creepy, and it had it recounted a story that I actually remembered from my youth that told me about Shishimi. Thank you for the reminder. And the ghost that had been crushed under a mill wheel. So, there was the thought that maybe we could do that again. But I also thought that maybe there was more to the storybook that might sort of tell us more. So I set about trying to fix it. Just as Westora decided that the right thing to do was to blow the book up. Well, in fact, the whole table, or in fact, large quantities at the center of the room. And let's see what else. Addis, who was also still possessed, got into a fight and killed Valjean, Elizabeth's dad. No blame to him. He was possessed and all that, but Elizabeth not so happy about the outcome. And then, with the idea that we needed to crush things, Hadrian had a look about, thought first about trying to pick Addis up and chucking him on the ghost, but decided he probably couldn't pick him up. And so went and toppled one of the bookcases. Now, when I say a bookcase, this is like floor-to-ceiling, enormous bookcase that came down and nearly crushed me, did crush Roxy, but fortunately did crush the ghost and seemed to sort us all out. And we thought, all right, then let's get the hell out of here, to discover that we'd been locked inside the library. That didn't stop Addis' mind. He decided to try and break the door down quite successfully. Only to discover a line of war mages telling us that we were under quarantine, because like they knew about the singing. This had happened a long time ago before, and that we had to stay in the library and make sure none of us did any singing for a bit, and they might let us out, which eventually they did. And a bit of a kerfuffle, obviously, with the little girl not having any parents left alive because the last one had been crushed under a well, yes, dead by Addis. And Hadrian was more than a little upset at the thought that she might be taken off and lost in the system, or God knows what happened to her. So there was a bit of a to-do about what would happen to the girl. Right now, it seems she's in an orphanage. I think Adrian might not like to see things that way, but we'll see how that goes out. We went through a sort of big, long line of interrogation, I think possibly to see if we were, like, not still possessed. And they didn't seem to hold us blame for any of the sort of killing that was happening, because it had all been, everything done. And then we're back at our abode, and there's a knock on the door, and who should it be but Gilles, which I think is right where we are right about now.
Yes, the morning after your guys' interrogations, after you had rested and got into a bit of a debate, who was answering the door?
I was on my way out when I answered the door, I think, because I was going to go to the orphanage, but I suppose at this point that is not happening.
Hadrian. Good to see you. Well, I've made sure to keep up my part of the bargain. Now it's time that I insist that your party keeps up theirs.
Oh, I really, really wish I could say the same about it being good to see you, but I see you, Jill. Hi. Yeah, you are there. That's about the kindest thing I can say. How are you? I'm sorry, I don't care. What are you here for?
Well, I've brought a number of books about subjects that you inquired about, as well as I have leads on what may be going on with Godric. Need you to pursue and investigate it, as well as a few stipulations as to your appearance before the Queen. I have to make sure that you don't embarrass me or yourselves, although I don't really care if you embarrass yourselves. I'm sure that will go without saying, especially with a brute like yourself. However,
and
my
for a brute like me
is one that cannot be besmudged.
Okay, but you said you didn't want us to embarrass you, so hypothetically, so we can avoid these things, what sorts of things could we do in front of the Queen that would embarrass you, just so we know to avoid them?
As you're saying this, Addis walks up wearing the full maid costume and says, "You said you had some books. Can I take a look at those?"
I see you've improved your fashion sense.
So this is exactly what we're asking about.
Right?
Maid outfit for the Queen meeting. Yes, no, maybe, or the best idea ever.
Invalids. Oh.
Jill
you would
DeRay.
never make it at Strixhaven Academy. Oh. Anyways,
Oh, Jill.
I know this is an
About
arrangement
pairs.
of convenience, but if you're going to continue to play this damn dance, then perhaps I should take this little bit of information and go separately. It would be a shame if the Magisters were to find out that you were staying in this house.
Oh, I'm
uninvited.
sorry, Jill. I'm sorry. I would dance with you, but I have saved it for somebody else. However, we can talk about these books and the arrangement. As long as there's no marriage involved.
Oh, Ao, help me.
Oh, I don't think he cares about you at all, actually. But please continue.
So he walks in, kind of looking around, glancing around the house until he moves through and into the study, kind of just acting like he owns the place, not really caring for any of you. Setting a couple of books down and waves his hand a little bit and lights the fireplace up and gets the place illuminated, moving some chairs around until he's kind of arranged it into a bit of a formation and kind of takes a seat, arms on the armrest, kind of looking in a very regal, kind of commanding presence, as though he feels like he's in control of the room and the situation. Or at least he's very used to being
do you
such.
feel it? Do you feel in charge?
Who invited him?
He
He
invited
invited
himself. Yeah, thank you.
We had an
That's a bad
arrangement,
idea.
did we not?
Wasn't
Did
it
we?
just that we would get you here and you gave us the house to help you stop Godric? What was the other part of it? I'm sorry. I know there wasn't, but like when you talk, I just kind of because I
The
hate you.
feeling's
So.
mutual.
What?
The feeling's mutual.
What?
You see him like clenching his hand, and you can see like the withered hand kind of twitching with the strange mark on it.
You know, you're allowed to light him on fire. None of us will complain.
It might be better if he does that outside. I'd rather he didn't do it in the living
That
room.
is true. Maybe not the fire indoors.
I could stand in the
I'm-
fireplace if that would make it easier.
I mean, I could also just light myself. No, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Where's
Don't
Wastora
tempt me.
when we need to actually be nice to someone?
I'm sorry. Hey, I look at all.
Yes,
Hey,
where
everyone.
is the reasonable one amongst your party? The one with at least a little bit of
yeah,
intelligence and
Barry,
class?
where's-
Hadrian, I've
Hmm.
got the feeling you'd like this conversation to be as short and as sweet as possible.
Oh no, I want it to be as long and as painful for Jill as possible. Actually, you've got me completely
You've
wrong.
already succeeded on that end. You're trying my patience.
Okay,
Now,
excellent.
do you want
then
this
I'm done.
information or not?
Yes,
I-
you said something about books.
Yes.
I
yes,
sit down knowing my job is done. I just sip from a little cup of tea.
You
Wastora's
asked,
just been sitting there the whole time, just waiting.
you asked about the fated. You were curious about it. I happen to have uncovered 3 particular books that may hold interest to you. And he pulls out these 3 large tomes. One of them is on the particular strands of fate. And discusses how fate interweaves and the interactions of fate between things. It's really a quite interesting study on divination magic. May prove useful in your studies. The next is on a list of those surviving members of Ishgard from ancient times, and those that have risen to positions of divinity. It is, in fact, how I learned about Godric's true identity, as well as one of our mutual friends. Though I've made sure to censor a portion of it, I've only given you the portion that I feel you can be trusted with. He sets down a thin, sort of semi-sealed up book. You can see it's got several sort of arcane runes placed on it and some binding kind of wrapped around it as he sets it down. The last one, of course. You had asked about understanding deeper magics and what was going on in Emery's and Godric and what he was. And so I've gotten this treatise on the rise of the gods, a brief glimpse into the mythic age, report done by several well-astute scholars that are personal friends of mine, has yet to be published, but it may prove useful to your journeys. Additionally, I've been attempting to scry on Godric. I do believe that he has found his way into Amaris. It's hard to see him precisely. I can't locate him. I can only ever see nearby things, aspects of the city, strange alleyways. Yuan Ti, gentleman, that was distorted in some sort of illusion. He is here. All of you. He is planning something, and he must be stopped. We must capture him.
Well, that went terribly well last time. What's your plan this time to capture him?
Well, he seems to have a fondness for all of you. I intend to use you to capture him.
Well,
That's
Actually,
sounding
just-
still remarkably like your first plan, I have to say.
Yeah,
you want us
which
to do like
also
a-
didn't work.
Do you want us to do like a go-go dance or something? In
I
the
want
street?
you to investigate what his activities are so I might arrange the resources of this glorious kingdom to intercept him.
So
wants
no.
to find him. That's
And-
what you're saying.
Find him, find out what he's doing, what he's after. He wouldn't be sitting here in the city if he had no purpose. He might
You
be
have,
planning his
like-
next attack.
Are we the only ones working on this? Because if you have more than us and you still can't find him, what the fuck are we gonna do?
I do have many law mages and inquisitors searching the grounds. The most they've come up with is the disgusting revel infected with his disease.
But we're just the commoners. How are we gonna help?
I believe, Garth, part of the point is that Godric seems interested in us. So we might be able to approach him or he might approach us.
Precisely.
Right. I I have some ideas, Jill, but I can't share them with you because I'm sure Godric is scrying on us right now. But I know him very well.
If you're so concerned about that, I could use a magic to prevent it. And you might
No,
speak
I also just
candidly.
don't. I also just don't like you, so I'm going to keep this to myself. But we have a good strategy, trust me.
And here I was ready to offer a stipend for your assistance in this matter. It's a shame that your rude
Oh,
attitude
you
has
should offer it to
interfered
everybody
with my
else.
kindness.
No. Offer it to everybody else. I'm the
Oh,
awesome.
no. You clearly speak for this party, so the
Mm-mm.
weight of this burden is on you. Good day, ladies and
Very
gentlemen.
well.
I
I
would
bow.
say that the more supplies we have access to, the better our chance of success, which is rather to your benefit, wouldn't you agree?
Convince him to apologize while I eat my breakfast in the dining room,
Adrian,
and your
say
stipend
sorry.
will be arranged. And I want to believe it. And
Okay.
he walks out
Mean
the
it.
door.
And you have to mean it.
Well, pretend you mean
I'm.
it.
You can
Just-
see his like eye twitch. Okay. Fine.
Can how about this? How about this? We also should come to an arrangement to so Hadrian stops speaking for us. I think as a group we can all
I'm
agree
s-
that this has been going pretty terribly.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You know what? His.
You
I
hear
will
some
agree.
clanking in the
I
kitchen and
think-
stuff, and
I think Adrian speaks for us. Not speaking for us. Only should apply to, particularly to him.
I was gonna say. You
No,
know what?
I feel like there's a lot of situations.
I've
I feel like
actually
any
done-
situation with the law, we should have Hadrian.
As I say, I was about to say I've actually done quite well most of the time, but yes, it's true. I have big issues with Ameresian authority, and so when we are dealing with them, I will sit in the back and zip my lip. I just really hate him, but I am actually legitimately sorry that I lost you all your stipend. I wouldn't take it from him, but you can have my portion. I will go eat some crow, and I will go into to the room where Jill is eating his
the
breakfast.
dining room. You can see him just
Yeah.
sitting there with a little
Yeah,
unwrapped thing, kind of
and
snacking on some
I-
vegetables.
I
for
will
his breakfast.
incline my head and just say, Jill DeRay, I apologize for my terrible attitude. I am, after all, only an invalid with mixed memories from the Mythic Age, and I don't know this kingdom or its people or magic like you do. You know far better than I how to go about this. And my anger is not an anger with you, it is an anger at my own inadequacies, which I see that you do not have, and so I am jealous, and I really lashed out, and I'm sorry.
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, wow!
Gotta stroke that ego.
I know. Thank you for making that persuasion and not deception, because I suck at deception.
You're trying to convince him that
28.
you're
28.
sorry. So I'm using persuasion.
28.
And I would say it's not deception because there is some legitimate like I fuck things up for the party.
Yeah. I will say, like, the thing is, I never said that at all. I was just saying, like, I'm sorry because you're great and I'm not. But, but the motive behind it is that he is sorry for the party. So he's acting. He's projecting that regret onto the words he's using.
Good. Now don't forget it. All right.
Unfortunately, I shut my mouth. So I'm about to say, unfortunately, I seem to forget a lot of things that are really important, and you're not one of them. But sorry,
Hey, Adrian!
Magna.
Addis is gonna peek his head and be like, "Joe, I meant to ask, but you went to eat breakfast. What? How bad would it be if Godric, what's your plan if Godric isn't going to be captured? Are you okay with him being killed, or like?"
You legitimately think it's possible for you to kill him? He's an immortal entity, empowered by a primordial beast. He cannot be slain.
It's a lot of
Has
words
to
for
be
yes.
captured.
Okay, cool. Okay.
What'd you say? I missed.
A lot of words to mean yes. Or no, I don't fucking care. Cool. So we do need to capture him. Okay. Do you happen to have any like really strong tape?
As a matter of fact,
Maybe
I
rope.
do know several spells that can bind him as long as I'm around in the area. And I've been arranging a rather mystical prison for him to keep him contained and contain all of the disease that he spreads.
And we just chant your name 3 times to make you appear, right?
No, of course not. As you guys uncover information, we'll make arrangements for the Amaresian military and myself, as well as hopefully all of you, to intervene on Amaresia's behalf.
Ooh. Jill, maybe...
What happens if he comes to us before that, though? Like, we don't have a way of contacting you if he tries to just show up and be like, "Rrr."
Right, I have this ring that you can look at me through, but maybe I can talk
we don't
to you
have a
through
we
it.
don't have a direct line to you.
Yes.
Right? Wouldn't that help? And we promise we'll give it to Astora.
No, it's my ring.
No, I'm not saying use the ring. I'm saying if we had like a sending stone or something.
I didn't think that one of your station would be aware of such items, but I can arrange.
I mean,
for
they're
you
the
to
shiny
procure
rock
one.
with magic, of course. Yeah.
You can see that Hadrian is just like internally screaming in his head, like, "This guy sucks so much. Why?"
But I can arrange to have one delivered here.
I walk
and
out
I'll,
of the house.
course,
I can't deal.
I will say the best way to contact me, other than that, I am a rather busy individual, but so I was planning on just showing up. But if we get you the earring, the sending stone, that would allow us to communicate and we can arrange a meeting point. One where Godric won't find you and I won't tip our hand. That does sound reasonable. I'll have it delivered as soon as possible. It may take a day or two.
Okay.
You good?
Cool. Thank you.
And he comes over and he finishes his breakfast, kind of walks over and walks back. This should help you begin your efforts. Sets down this sack and you just hear the of the coins as it settles. Of course, were you to succeed in this task and earn the favor of Amaris, this would become a monthly dividend.
Damn. Okay, you got me convinced. I would like to buy some more outfits. I saw a really nice dress.
More maid
Lastly,
outfits.
as we've stopped him and I'm going to be presenting you all to the Queen, you must learn to dance and acquire a masquerade costume.
Mm, mm, mm.
Did he say dance?
Can I try
You
and
did.
charade? I know how to dance, and I already have a costume, but I'm not saying anything. Which I get the feeling is going to be worse, but I did say I wouldn't talk. So
Out of curiosity, I know you're saying dancing is important. What if, hypothetically, I was 12'2", made of stone, and could dance about as well as that?
I'd say
He
make
has-
sure that you only step on the right people's toes.
I was about to say he has 2 left feet. He's going to crush some feet. Like
Yeah.
Or work on your
I'll work
court
on it.
decorum and your...
I Sorry.
Oh, well,
Table
Story, you
talk.
can really do some training, can't you? You do
I-
all that sort of fancy courtroom dancing.
I have been to court. I might be able to share some information, but
I-
obviously I need to learn more about Emeresian court and their ways. Every
There's only
court
so
has
much
my
I can do with
outfit.
a 6 charisma.
I will pull out my outfit and say, is this appropriate? And it's just like the long, like it's basically the formal version of Hadrian's usual long, like 3/4 coat. It's a little longer, nicer cloth, but it's got he has a pair of angel wings that he bought with it, and a white feather mask.
Make a insight check, all of you.
That's 18.
15. Sorry.
I got
17.
Let's go.
23.
Let's go.
Go, God!
I thought I rolled. It must not have gone through.
I do not see your roll.
Oh, that's weird.
Yes, I do. No, it's
Because I
not.
no, because I had to press
There it
submit.
is.
16.
So, Garth, and Hadrian's is 15 because it was an advantage.
Yeah.
So Garth and Addis, as soon as he sees the masquerade costume in Hadrian's hands, you can see, like, in his eyes and the way his demeanor slightly shifts and the small twitching in his cheek and the twiddling of his fingers, that he immediately puts together. You guys found out what the Queen's birthday party would be, and were already interested in trying to attend for some reason.
He told us we were invited. He literally
did.
told
He
us.
told
Yeah,
us
this
that.
this was not a secret. He invited us.
He was going to
I'm-
take you to the Queen's birthday, but that you've been doing research and like already pre-planning, and you can see he sees kind of picks up on Hadrian's work that that you guys might know more than you're letting on, but he doesn't seem to be pushing. the
Okay,
issue.
I will say, just as an FYI, there are flyers and masks being sold everywhere. We would have to be morons not to
He
pick
does
up
think
on
we
that.
are morons.
He does.
I know.
Yeah.
I am a moron.
I know, but at the
Especially
same
with how
time, like,
Hadrian acts towards authority figures, like it is a bit shocking for him to be like, "Look, I already bought all the stuff. I'm pre-prepared." Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
yeah.
Like that.
Takes the wind out of his sails a bit.
It,
all right.
with the way Addis, you picked up on it exactly. That he is able to read that something isn't quite adding up. But
Jill,
I like a party. What can I say? Sorry, that's out of character.
what kind of like
And I-
costume?
well, one moment. Sorry, I hadn't quite finished.
Sorry.
But I would also say, Garth, you also get the impression, like you've seen clever hunters and animals and predators and how they'll maneuver their prey and kind of think in advance and don't always just go outright. And you can see that same kind of cunning in him, that he is pushing and moving pieces that he wants into play. And can see, like, for the briefest glimpse, that very predatory, deadpan, just not quite right look in his eye.
Almost like he has us right where he wants us. All right. Jill, what kind of costume do we need? I'm not really one for, I guess you would say, fashion.
I'm sure Westora can explain a masquerade ball to you. And it's the Queen's birthday, my dear cousin. You got and Addis and Garth, since you guys both have the high insights, you can see he does not like his cousin. There is vitriol on his tongue as he says, "Dear cousin." Just she's putting on quite the honoring celebration with guests from all over the world.
What is a birthday?
You've
It's like-
seriously not had a birthday?
We'll explain it to you in a bit.
Do you know that people are born, and when they're born, it's
I cannot
a
handle
day
this
of the
discussion.
year.
Good day to all of you. Thank you.
Good
I
day.
think you're about to have to explain zero to Garth.
As he walks out, Hadrian is going to fall to his knees in front of Garth. He's like, "Thank you
For what?
for getting rid of him." And I'm going to take a look at the Ishgard book almost immediately.
Addis is going to start counting the coins, see how much we got.
It turns out to be a big sack of copper. No.
Don't, no!
I mostly want to see if there's enough to pay for that more permanent version of that magical mask.
There
That
is
you were talking
3,000 gold.
Alright, so 600 each.
Split that up.
Well,
hang on.
we're,
No, split
but
5 ways.
Hadrian, yeah,
Oh shit!
it's split 4 ways. Hadrian gave up his cut.
Always.
Oh, Hadrian did give up his cut. That is true.
All right.
So it'd be
But
750.
looking at the Ishgard book,
50.
and so that you
750,
you
yeah.
can see kind of in it, there's sections of the pages that are sort of wiped and have this shimmering rune over it, and you can't quite see what it's saying about. But make a wisdom save, Hadrian.
Oh, we love wisdom saves as a former murderous fallen angel. They are great.
So it brings back a lot of painful memories. Like you remember everything, but there's still so much that.
No, I know.
You
Obviously, I
can't,
don't remember
but-
everything. You can't remember that many things.
And you definitely see they got a lot of bits wrong. Like this is written
It's-
by someone.
It's AO
who's-
propaganda, correct? Like,
It is AO propaganda. It does talk a lot about how Ishgard was enslaving dragons and trying to conquer the skies, and threatening the world with storms and destruction, that Zakum had become power hungry and was creating fake souls and an army of an indestructible clockwork army that was going to wash across the land. And um, it does discuss theoretical positions where they believe the Tower of Ishgard once stood. Um, and there is a small addendum that says that there's a theory that the Tower of Ishgard could teleport around the world, which you know is true, but in this book, it discounts as the amount of magic it would take to move such a structure is impossible.
What about the immortal beings, Godric, his mutual friend, other stuff like that? Anything in the book? He mentioned it.
You do briefly see a painting of Godric. It is one that was found.
Okay.
And this is sort of like someone drew kind of a reproduction into the book, which is supposedly housed in a La Venice museum.
Right. Speaking of which, we do have to discuss breaking in, but
the painting shows Godric on a horse, at the head of a crowd. Like the crowd is kind of surrounding him. There's children kind of running and playing and cheering. And the large tower in the background, like he's being welcomed as a hero back to the land. And it looks very serene and tranquil. Lots of golds and blues and hues. But you recognize the the very same jacket in the picture is the one that he's wearing.
And I mean, I obviously have a similar one. Do I remember that scene as something I observed? And also the other question I have, because Jill mentioned or implied information about me being in the book, and obviously I want to see if that's actually true, because that would be disturbing and also relevant for all sorts of reasons.
You recall fighting some undead and a very large battle with people that were trying to harvest souls for some sort of weapon, and were slowly killing off a lot of the smaller, like, unknown, you can't even remember their name, villages, and kind of painting the world red with blood and kind of creating this tear in reality for something you didn't quite understand. But they had a lot of death power and were claiming to be the rulers of everyone's soul and had to be stopped. And this particular case, you hear Godric's children, his two sons and his daughter, kind of laughing and cheering, and his dog barking as they run up to him to greet him, and can remember their screams when the tower fell.
So
being in the army with Godric.
Yeah, so I was there with him. I was next to him.
You were a fellow soldier. He was. Yeah. You were like a soldier. He was a bit more of a lieutenant and a commander kind of person, a leader. He had risen to a hero. You were still in the ranks, but you were in the same kind of unit as him.
Okay. Because he called us both knight champions. So I'm trying to see what we actually were, but.
But you start to kind of recall, as you're looking over the pictures, a battlefield with the city of Aruk overhead, flying in the air. And the undead, the Djinn, and yes, that's deliberately mispronounced. Djinn is different from Jinn. And the Ishgardian champions, those that had survived its fall. Zakum himself channeling massive amounts of lightning and power. And Rama, an Ishgardian wizard, one of the 12 kings, trying to carve out a blast as they fought the dragon and angelic armies of Aruk. And a thunderous cracking sound as the city shattered in midair and erupting from it a glorious dragon. And its breath and damage carving out the land. People trying to fight it and stop it. As this alliance was shattered by this titan of a dragon. And you can recall its name, Ptolemy. And you can recall its visage over Versailles.
Yeah. So, if there's no more information about me that I'm forgetting in this book, I will close it. Look up at everyone counting the gold.
Oh, one last thing. You do note that the translation from Ancient Ishgardian into... Actually, you don't speak Common, so you would not... You
I
don't
do speak Common.
Or not Common,
Or
High
not High.
Common. You don't speak High Common, so you
No,
cannot
I don't.
translate what it says Godric's name is.
I show it to Astora. Hey, what does this say?
What does it say?
It's basically written in Ameresian High Common, and it says that Godric's real name is Gadriel.
It says.
It doesn't say Godric's real name is, but it's
Oh,
the guy,
yeah.
the person figured in the painting that looks
Right.
like Godric. It
Right.
says their name is Gadriel.
Which would make sense.
Right, and I recognize it being Godric in the picture because you said
Yes.
it looked
Because
clear. It says that person is Gadriel.
Does that name ring a bell? A bigger bell, Frosty, or not? I know my name is Hadriel.
The el suffix,
Yeah.
you know, it starts to click. It meant champion. It was a modification, an addendum onto name, sort of like Sir. And make a history check at advantage.
18.
All right. So basically, whoever their name were when they became champions of Ishgard, their names were usually changed into that. So Hadrian became Hadriel, Godric became Gadriel,
Okay.
Alexander became Alexiel, and they were bestowed wings.
Okay. So we were made angels, not born angels. Interesting.
Frosty, I don't know how long it takes time for us to go through the coins, but it sounds like maybe going through.
At this point, you guys would be through. It takes a while to
Yeah.
count 3,000 coins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to take a look at the book on the faded ones.
Well, he said it was a book on the weaves of fate, and
Weaves
that
of
might
fate.
help you. But as you're looking at, make an investigation check.
Okay.
It is written in High Common,
All right.
with smidges of Primordial and Mythic, if you have either of those.
I do not, but I know Hadrian and Magnar speak.
Yeah.
So-
If you need me to translate, I will translate for you. So
Sure. Yeah. So when it comes up, I'll share it.
So
with
kind
you,
of
but-
working together, what you learn is that faded is almost exclusive, a term almost exclusively used through history of when it comes to the weave of fate to describe particular individuals that seem to disrupt the destiny of others where they go. And this book isn't able to determine what causes it. You guys have learned through your own stuff, kind of what leads to a person becoming faded. But what this says is that these people disrupt. They're like a pebble in the water all around. And in particular, are favored as champions of the gods because Ao's divine authority forbids gods from directly interfering. And although it's believed that many of the gods break or bend this rule as much as possible, for the most part, they're held to that standard. And by utilizing the fated, whose destinies are unpredictable, and this says that they are difficult to divine and scry on or to use divination magic on, because and kind of predict their futures, as they can go any direction, and they have a massive impact on the thing, on the world. And it's said that the gods like to kind of push and pull these individuals to create situations and conflicts or problems or solutions or goals that enhance their own purviews and their own agendas. But it's also said that some of the gods, like Shar, hunt down the fated. That Shar considers the philosophy in the book basically discusses that those that are able to defy and change fate and disrupt the destinies of others are a danger and a threat to the world because it disrupts the natural cycle and ebb and flow of souls in life and death, and can bring death before one's time or prevent the death of one needed to die to create a destined event. And so Shar despises these individuals almost above anything else. And it's said that she created the Shader Kai, her personal servants, to hunt these individuals down. It also says that many people who have interacted with this person have seen glimpses of a particular individual known to be enigmatic called the Porcelain Lady. And supposedly she is a servant, avatar, or manifestation of Sophitia. Some people worship her as an independent god. Some people in the book say that this Porcelain Lady is actually just a guise of Sophitia, because the Porcelain Lady usually gives cryptic and mysterious information to individuals and is known to be a liar. And people suspect that it's because she is manipulating the fated as much as any other god wants to. There is also a theory in the book that says that basically the reason why this Porcelain Lady manipulates people is because the weight of destiny is such a burden that if you were to tell someone, hey, you need to go here and die so that this kingdom can be saved from disaster, they won't do it.
Okay. So that answers. Yeah. So Restora sits there for a bit, sitting next to Hadrian. They're sitting there and they're talking about all this means, and Restora sort of nods a bit and says, "I think this explains quite a lot." And it certainly seems, I think, to imply why the gods have been interested in us. It's not that they've done anything to pin us out. It's just that we stand out now and have drawn their attention. At least perhaps Sophitia.
Right.
But I think we should be very careful when it comes to dealing with followers of Shar, though. It hasn't come up. I don't think we've encountered so far in our journeys. But
Hadrian shudders slightly, as if remembering something, and just crossed blades, or blade and scythe, or she's what's the word? A psycho bitch. But
Char is?
yeah, but very dangerous. Obviously, should not attract her attention if possible.
Yes. Sounds. Yes.
And I am sorry that I, by the way, just like I know I apologize to Jill, but I am apologized. I am sorry that I make fitting in here more difficult. Yeah.
James, nothing's coming through your mic.
Oh, I was going to say, I think things would be very wrong if we fitted in smoothly.
The whole divine authority of AO, and we are right and have the right to use magic because we do, and his power means that he is in the right when he uses it, or like a girl like Lena has to be worried that if she doesn't pay enough money, she'll be escorted to a stockade and have her hands cut off or some shit. Like I will do better to bite my lip, but this place is wrong. It is just fucking wrong.
I am not a particular fan of any of the people involved or this place. So I do understand your, well, we'll call it distaste. I understand that is likely a mild description for it, but for now, it applies. I guess I suppose for me, I think it's not our focus right now to have to save, to create a
Yeah.
revolution here.
No,
Perhaps when this is all done, if you wish, you can come and focus on reforming a society.
I maybe I wish I had a plan like that. It's not about a plan. It's that I see it and I just get so angry.
I suppose, having worked in courts among nobility for so long, and working within such a system, I suppose I just kind of see how it works. And I'm also used to biting my tongue and being careful about what I say to whom. I mean, that's a lot of what being in a court is like.
Mm.
So, if you notice, the whole time you were going off on Jill, I didn't speak up. I didn't try to step in. I didn't try to stop you.
You let me hoist myself in my own baton so you could come in later. I get it. No, it's a smart strategy. I'm not condemning. It's good.
More that it was not my place to try to stop you.
Right.
If you saying anything to Jill at this point.
Yeah, no, he hates me. Like
it's not going to change how he feels. It's only once he was getting upset about giving us a stipend.
Again, I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with you telling Jill how you feel, except when it, obviously it creates problems.
You do need to work on intentionally aggravating, because
that's true.
Judicious criticism.
Yeah,
careful.
Criticize when
careful
necessary, but
yes.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just when I see a fragile ego, I really want to poke it, and I will work on that. I know it's a problem. But his ego
but you don't see us all poking you, so
you could.
Good, but
yeah,
Garth, you got the high insight check, so when they're mentioning this fragile ego and everything, it dawns on you, Jill might be playing the part to manipulate you.
Mm-hmm.
Garth's sitting there like, what does that mean?
Anyway,
I know what that means.
Anyway, I think we're gonna go shopping, right, Garth?
Yeah. I would like to today with this newfound wealth.
Why don't we all go to Gilmore's? I heard it's a good shop.
I want to, like I said, I think earlier, I definitely want to spend money on trying to get a permanent version of that magical item you described, the mask that just changes your wardrobe.
I mean, I would like to get maybe some armor or something.
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah,
Wait,
so
there was.
I'm-
I'm sorry, I missed this. There's a mask that permanently changes your wardrobe.
Yes, yes.
Addis's smut detector just like went off, and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, this out of character. This was a session you missed.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, there's a magical item, but that lets you change your clothing kind of at will, but it has limited charges, and then it's
And
done
it's
for.
expensive.
It's very expensive.
I think
So,
it was 300 gold for one. Was the price?
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
given.
yeah, and I was like, well, that's very useful for me, and also from a kind of a fluff perspective because I can change my seasons. That means I can like wake up in the morning and change like my season to a different season.
not have that grotesquely inappropriate winter
I mean-
colors clashing with your spring colors.
Well-
because
well-
who would do that? What monster would do that? It was so-
Being able to
Well,
rage,
I
being able to
agree.
rage
It's nice to see it.
would be cool.
Adrian sees that way. Oh man.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. See, the thing with me is I have this whole dark like aesthetic, and it's very. I just have to find black clothes, and I'm good.
Yeah,
but with
that's-
you, like it, you.
Yeah, no, I have to change. I have to change every single time.
Why?
Magnus.
Think of all the clothes I
I
have to
don't know what
buy.
they're talking
Jeez.
about.
Anything you're looking for in particular?
Well, I could do with a shield.
Ooh.
Magna, you also might want a better mace because that one seems cursed. I'm just gonna say it right now. Like every time you invoke Deska,
Well-
you just miss.
No, you'll notice this is a replacement that I made, and it still misses.
Oh, so you're cursed.
Quite
What?
possibly. I
Did
lost
you
it.
lose that mace when I at the
Yeah,
door?
yeah.
We
Yeah.
got stuck in the door in the future, so
Oh
yeah. So I had
So-
to. So
so
I
Magna-
made.
You
I
considered using a book.
I've got one if you need
Hit
it.
him with a book.
Have you considered like that? You've given the future a beautiful gift, a mace that can't hit anything, and someone will find it and just be like, "What
It
is
hit a
this?"
door. It
did
did hit a door.
Yeah,
And then
it
got
had-
stuck.
It's the mace of door smashing. There
Can
you
we
go.
say
Yeah.
we're talking about this on the way to Gilmore's, by the way? Because-
I mean, I'd like to go to a smithy. I don't know if I want to go to Gilmore's.
do you just
Yeah,
want mundane?
I need a
armor, or do
weapon.
you want-
Yeah.
Well, if you
I
want
need a
something with a
weapon
bit
as
of a
well,
magical
so-
touch, I mean, if you don't want the things with a magical touch, I'm able to make it for you. But I would suggest, if you're going to spend a bit, then finding maybe this Gilmore's place.
Oh.
You might be able to find some enchanting
Um,
armor.
Magna,
Yes.
could you maybe make some armor for Barry, by chance?
Oh, that's. I might have to make it in
Oh.
pieces. He's quite large.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he's getting
yeah,
larger.
a little bit at a time.
That's not very nice.
Ah.
So we don't
Mate,
talk about Barry's weight
it's,
like
it's,
that.
it's going to take a few days to be able to put some together, but
That's fine.
yeah.
How much did you want for that?
Well, I'll get back to you. I'll have to work out how much
Alright.
metal.
All right.
But I think the smithy first, because I wanted to check out some weapons. Because I know you can make weapons, but I also know that you're not used to making things as much. So we can find
Who-
something that's nice.
by the way, I'm putting everything into the party storage so we have this to keep track of. So we're gonna start selling stuff. Who has the +1 spear now? I know Garth gave it up. I have
Addis has it.
Out of-
okay, so the +1 longsword's on Hadrian. The shark dagger is on Addis. The +1 spear is on Addis. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So,
I also have the magic staff, the bird call
Yes.
staff.
Yes.
So, Artisan's Blessing, it takes an hour, consumes metal, consumes money, but there's no limits on it other than it takes a long time to do each one. Suit
Yeah.
of armor. Okay.
oh, and I believe you have to have, no more than 100 gold.
No more than 100 gold. Yeah, so I'd have to work out
So
what
it
a
can't.
bear's armor would cost.
Maybe you make a piece at a time. You make him a hat. You make him a chest plate. You know.
Yeah, so as I say, it's going to take a while. Anyway, well,
Make an investigation as you guys go and try and search the city.
Okay.
We just ask somebody. Where the fuck
Yeah,
are
could
they?
we-
that's
could-
part of
That's
the
that's
investigation.
investigating. That's asking around.
Whoop. I'm gonna, you know what, hero point. Why not? 18.
18. All right. So you guys do hear of a few smithies in town that are reported to be pretty good. A couple of magic shops. There's a the serpent's new skin. There's a tailor shop. in town that's known to be pretty decent. Uh, uh, Gilmore's Glorious Goods has a magic shop for random trinkets and items.
If we were with that investigation check, we were looking for magical or like special, like adamantine, mithril, serpent scale armor. Is that the tailor or is that Gilmore? Like, where would we go for that?
For which thing?
For like adamantine, mithril, or serpent scale, like the magic but not really magic armors. Where
So, with an 18, what you're able to learn is that only licensed vendors are allowed to sell magical items. And the sale and purchase of magical items is somewhat monitored, especially when it comes to weapons, wands, things like that.
right, the guard has the ring.
Yes. The tailor you don't know about. So the fact that there is a magical item shop would imply that if you're looking for a magical item, that's where it would be.
Oh, sorry.
The other shops, like a smithy, might the tailoring shop might have a well-made sword, a magical sword, or well-made clothes, or magical clothes. And there's various shops. There's Madame Moogie's Mystic Magical Makers. Can't think
With
of all
that
the names of
18
them, but
with that 18 Frosty, could we try and get directions?
But
or
if there's something that you're
information on,
looking for, basically with that 18, let me know what you're looking for, and I'll tell you, yes, there is a shop, or no, you would not be able to find it. But for the most part, with that, you guys can find whatever you're looking for in Amarise, going around to different stalls and shops and the bazaars, and there's street merchants trading stuff, there's large stores, there's wand shops and makers, there's, fancy magical clothing, there's little utilities like gems that heat your bath water and make it froth and foam and smell good.
Stora.
And
we already have a self-heating bath.
Yeah, but it's not good enough for her.
It's very true.
And these things are supposed to help keep your skin fresh and smooth and looking wonderful and scented. There's archery stores. I can't remember the name for
Fletcher's.
Fletcher's. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Haberdashers. A rather dangerous world of haberdashery.
So Hadrian is looking for serpent scale, and then he wants a hat if he can find that and still has money left.
If we're also finding, like, we can find just sort of general shops and things. Would it be possible to find, like, the offices, sort of like where we would be able to purchase like a magic license or apply for a magic license?
Make another investigation check, actually, because I'd be
separate.
Okay.
What you learn is that currently, after the attack on Versailles, Amarise has stopped authorizing, putting out magical licenses, except for those explicitly given on for diplomatic purposes. They've even closed enrollment for any foreigners from Strixhaven Academy. They haven't kicked anyone out. Anyone that was good before is still good. But I would say with that, you hear a couple of the populace saying, oh, yeah, that's surely under investigation. Kind of like implying that even the foreigners are being looked at a little bit currently through their license as part of the provision of having the license. And you definitely get a sense that there's a lot of fear after Versailles. Like, no one has seen anything like that. There are people whispering all around. Additionally, you will hear a couple of rumors. Where are you? I have these. Let me generate a couple. So you hear a couple of emergencies. Oh dear, did you hear all that commotion yesterday evening near the opera house? And they will specifically say near the Bloom Theater. It appears that a couple of dignitaries went missing during the performance the other night, and we should go find that elven priest and see if she's still having visions. I'll bet we can get her to tell us our future. Another one. Another at one point, a little person in a like a hood and cloak kind of comes up and kind of like bumps into you and is like, "Hey, I got a tip on some quality blades. Shopkeeper Minera's looking to discount them. You guys look like the type that could use them. So, tell him Kavan sent you, and she'll give you a good price. I think some of them are enchanted. Don't tell no one." And kind of walks off.
Okay. Well, that's. We should. I mean, I'd be interested in heading there. I don't know if they would sell armor, Garth, but I don't know.
I mean, you said it was something called a Fletcher to do like bows and shit.
I mean, and that's a separate place. Yeah.
Well, I'm more interested in that actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll go with you to
Minera's place,
the
though.
smithy.
Yeah.
I'll
Nothing says we have to do all this at once.
right.
We can go to different shops and it's
Yeah.
in order.
Hadrian
Also,
just wants to go to
that
Ignoble at this
elven-
point.
I overheard something about an elven priest, which was someone who could see the future. That might interest you, Astora,
That
if
does
there's someone
interest
who
me,
knows about the
actually, yeah.
Faded or is
Yeah.
connected to us somehow.
Or
That
just
could
want
just
to
be a
hear what
scam
they say.
artist, but
Could
yeah.
be.
So, Serpent Scale Mail. Roll a D100.
I whatever the price is, I do want to, if it, depending on who's selling it, I will try to. $28.
All right. You are unable to locate it.
Damn.
Could I look for a? I'm specifically looking for a magical glaive, but if they just have a normal glaive, but I'll go to Minera's and see if they have any sort of magical glaive and say that Kavarn sent me.
Kavan.
Come on.
Kavan, sorry.
So, as you
I'd be
look
nice.
around the shops, you're not seeing Minera's. Like, you're looking around town, you're asking people, like, what? I don't. No. Make an insight check.
12.
Yeah, I heard about the shop. Where the hell?
Garth, do you know what's
Yeah. What?
where I can't find this shop?
Which one? Minera's?
Minera's. Yeah. Can you like track it? Can you find like footprints and figure out where the shop went?
I don't see how that would help.
Can I
really
attempt
don't.
to locate Minera's in any way?
How are you trying to find it? Addis has been
Track
asking
it down.
around, looking
Track
around
it down.
town.
Hmm.
Every
And
time
would
I
that look-
approach people, they look at me and they go, "Ah," and they run away. I don't know why.
Anyone that look
Well,
like
hang
that
on.
Kavan
Do you
fella.
think that they know and they're not telling you, or are they just scared of you? Because if
I
they're
think-
scared
I
of you, I
think-
could do the asking.
I
'Cause-
think it's that they're hiding something. I think this is a secret shop that is run by the queen. Obviously, I don't know the queen's name. I'm assuming it's Minera. And
is
she
anyone
sells cool swords, and
anyone-
they're hiding it from us.
Magnus doing a bit of asking around as well. 'Cause he's
Magnar.
interested.
One, the way that he was asking around and the way people are talking about it, they don't seem to have heard of the shop. The guy who mentioned it didn't seem to be lying, but it seems convenient that he just bumped into someone and told them this information.
Have you
Have you checked your coin purse recently, Addis?
Oh no.
Also, I still just want to go to Gilmore's, even if he doesn't have Serpent Scale. I want to go to Gilmore's.
That might be a
I'll,
place to
I'll
go.
check. I'll check my.
I'm beginning to suspect this
It is
place
missing.
never existed in the first place.
The whole thing.
It's gone.
How much did you have in there?
I probably didn't put it all in the same coin purse, but
You don't
probably
do
a
that?
decent chunk of
I
it.
do.
Well, I think I'm going to go back and start.
Because
putting some of
1,000
mine
gold
up
is
at
a lot
that
to
point.
fit in a coin purse. So it probably
You're a big person, though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you can fit 1,000 in a single coin purse.
Maybe
You
half
can't.
of it.
Yeah,
You're
I'm probably like 250.
yeah.
Addis doesn't carry he doesn't carry all of his money
I do. Is that a bad
on
thing?
him.
I can't
I'm
carry
going
that
to
much
ask-
of
Garth's
my
just got a backpack filled with gold.
Is that
Jingle,
bad?
jingle, jingle.
Should I not
We
be
should
carrying
probably pick
this?
up a bag of holding at some point.
You guys find
Why-
a little
which is
hole
why
cut
she
in
would
it and
go-
just a small trail of coins
Why
dropping
we
out
should go
behind
to
you.
Gilmore's?
I would
Yes.
like to try to locate any magical bow, if I could.
All
Oh, yeah,
right.
could I find a magical glaive? Sorry,
What you guys would find with please
Hmm.
make an investigation. Look for Mineros.
One more.
But yeah,
One more investigation.
yeah.
Okay.
22.
So Magnar is
12.
able to smooze around. He's like, "Hey, I hear there's some enchanted blades around." He's not asking for Mineras specifically, and kind of starts playing the side. And eventually, you find out that there's a small gambling hall, hidden behind a bar, and Minera runs the bar and is selling stuff out of the back.
Right
Oh,
then.
shit.
Legally.
I did
Okay.
wonder if some people might have a bit of a black market going on. You make something illegal, that's bound to pop up.
But
I could
you
always
get-
try and get my gold back.
Do you remember what he looked like, that fella?
Small.
Who's short?
They're all small to
Yeah.
you.
Green
Well,
skin,
yeah,
I
but-
think.
He said his name was Kavan.
No, you told me. Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, Kavon sent him, and he would get
Yes.
a discount.
Well,
so
might as well
plus
go check.
one weapon will run about 1,000 gold.
I could have afforded that.
How about
Could've.
I have?
Makes sense.
Do you do trades at all?
You guys talking to you guys were heading to Gilmore kind of time. And he's like, "Oh, darling, of course I've got fancy weapons and magical enchanted goods. You know, they're all over the place. I mean, what do you want a potion of water breathing, dust of disappearance? Then
I already have
mentioned-
one of those.
you mentioned the glaive, and he's like, well, this particular glaive was crafted to be quite penetrating against one's enemies, and kind of holds it up.
I will.
Just
will
give it the right
him-
kind of
I will
thrust
give him
with your wrist.
Suggestive eyebrows. As he's doing that, as I feel like this is the way to get discounts. So I'm.
How much is it?
1,000 gold, darling.
I don't.
Look, do you do trades? No.
Well, that depends on what's offered. I mean, I'm always looking to add to my repertoire.
I'll take off
You-
my ring of true sight. Put on the table. How much for
Now
this?
Lord.
that
Mage
is a rather
ring,
hot
buddy.
commodity.
How much for this one?
You sure you want to give that up, Garth?
He picks it up,
It's done nothing for me right
kind of
now.
looks at it. See him kind of wave his hand in the air, and as it floats up into a mystical mage hand, and kind of looks at it a little bit. Authentic?
I think so.
Oh no, it is. Rather
Oh.
interesting enchantments on it. But I certainly know people that wouldn't mind having it. 10,000 gold.
Oh.
Can you at least
Just in case
split
you don't
that
know,
with
Garth,
the
that's a
party?
lot.
Because otherwise, that's
Hmm.
wow.
10,000 gold.
Take the deal.
For this
probably.
little ring.
Take
For
the
this,
deal, Goth.
this little bitty ring.
Absolutely.
Take the deal, Goth.
I'm sure you won't miss it. Besides, it's a little tight on those large hands of yours.
Yeah, it's done nothing for myself already.
Kind of takes your hand and looks you in the eyes. So, do we have an agreement? He leans in real close, kind of smiling.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I like
Okay.
that.
Good. And kind of stands up, flipping the ring up and catching in his hand. All right. I'll extend your line of credit to 10,000 gold.
All right.
So we have to spend
Out
it
of-
here. Okay.
Out of
Oh, whatever we
curiosity,
don't
right?
Well, you
spend,
did
could
say
I
trade.
get back in gold?
I don't know if we want to carry that on us. To be
I'll
fair,
give you half,
Right.
half what isn't spent in gold.
Why
Yeah,
don't we
okay.
why don't we try and find stuff to buy here, and then we can get the rest if we need
do you have bags of holding?
The kind that hold everything or the kind that eat everything?
Hold.
I mean-
hold everything.
I mean,
No.
why not
no.
both?
You can talk. You can talk that out. I don't want
Why
this
on
thing
earth
to
would
eat
you
my
want a
shit.
bag that eats everything?
I mean, I
Makes
don't
cleaning up
judge,
things rather easy.
and I don't judge anyone for their kinks, Magnar.
So, all right.
Sorry, I'm
Well, we have
trying to-
weapons of warning. We've got a wand of magic missiles, scroll of protection, an alchemical compendium, braces of archery. Watch out for that. That's a dancing sword.
Races of archery.
I think Garth would like those braces of archery.
How much for them?
Braces of archery. They are, sweetie, for you.
Sweet, you hear that?
Nope, I didn't.
Talking about who you know.
2,000.
That's
2,000.
that's your cut of the true sight ring.
My cut.
That is
That's
your
my
cut.
ring.
Garth.
I would like
Alright.
a bow as well, if I could.
So it's 1,000 for a +1 bow and 2,000
How
for the
how,
ring.
how much was it for the bag of holding?
Bag
That
of holding
doesn't
would
eat
be
things.
3,000.
Oh shit!
See, that's a big chunk too.
That's a huge chunk.
We do
But
kind of need
but I
one.
feel like we need a bag, right? Like we
Yeah.
don't have a good storage thing right now.
Bag of holding would be useful.
Do you have
Hadrian,
anything in the way of
make a wisdom save.
What?
Who?
I hate those words.
Who is that to?
Adrian.
Hadrian?
Sorry, that's not an advantage. So it's a 19, but I could re-roll it.
You
if
turn
you
the
need.
corner and gasp as there's an ivory carved statue of a goat. Small little effigy.
Ah! The fuck is that shit? No, okay, Gilmore, I'm sorry. Okay. I have a thing with goats. It's not sexual. It's just that is. Why is that there?
Wait.
Why
Why
did
was
you
the
clarify?
first thing you said was that it's
Why
not
did you
sexual?
clarify?
Because
You know
I feel
what
like that's
happens?
the first thing Gilmore would think of. Am I wrong? I look
I
at
think-
Gilmore. Am
Oh,
I
I-
wong?
I don't know.
Am I? I'm
Can we
looking
not
at
insult
Gilmore.
this?
The
I
more you
don't know,
deny it,
Gilmore.
darling, the more I believe it.
No. All I was saying
That's
was
what
that
I
was
was
the first
thinking.
thing he would think of.
The only
That's
person
only
whose
reason I
mind
denied it.
immediately went there
Okay,
seems to have been
Wait,
yours.
guys, like everyone's talking over each other. All I was saying to Gilmore was, that's what I thought would be the first thing Gilmore would think of, which is why I said that. Otherwise, and I was asking him, am I wrong? Okay.
I would just take the bow. Actually, I don't think I need the braces.
Gilmore.
What do the bracers do?
I don't know.
They add +2 to your
Gilmore.
damage with a bow.
Gilmore, what do the
Hey.
braces do?
They make sure that every shot you fire hits its mark.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Insight check?
And make sure that those shots are far more potent.
17?
He's sincere about what he's saying. He's
Oh,
definitely
shit.
hitting on you. But you get the impression he does that to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't pick up on it at all.
Gilmore.
So 3,000 gold for that.
Yes.
So I was searching
So we're at 6.
for, because obviously a sort of light athletic person like myself, I need armor that's easier to move, and I couldn't find it. Having said that, if you know anybody able to craft such a thing, I would appreciate the tip, or if you yourself could. Besides that, though, as I'm sure you could tell from my demeanor and my general presentation, I'm a very devout and pious individual. I wink. And we might be looking for sort of an amulet that improves our capacity in that regard. That enables me to channel the divinity that I really feel deep in my soul and don't betray it the slightest temptation.
Well, if you're looking for something to put deep in your soul that will help someone such as yourself, it kind of pulls out this little round bead. You can always use a few of these.
What are they? Because so you say a round bead, and I don't have
Something deep in the soul.
I don't have good feelings about what that means. I look at it and I raise an eyebrow and I say, "Well, don't just leave me hanging in anticipation. Explain what this is." Obviously, I'm not as savvy about magical components as you yourself are, so I would love to hear.
You take this little black sphere and toss it and release your fury in a great explosion of intensity around the enemies, sending them flying in awe of your ferocity.
It's a beat of force, what you're saying.
Yes.
Just okay. Well, you know what? I appreciate it, fellow showman. The vim and vigor you tried to give to it. It doesn't quite live up to it, but points for showmanship. Having said that, I am actually off game asking about an amulet of the devout, or if he knows anyone who could craft serpent scale. Because obviously we didn't find it in the stalls.
If he has the supplies, he can make the serpent scale, but he would need fairly probably like a hydra's hide of some kind.
And we were not able to get the baby dragon because it disintegrated. No. Correct.
He does have an amulet of the devout for 8,000.
That is too much money.
Frosty, by the way, we'll spend 3,000 of the credit to get that bag of holding.
Oh, okay.
And I'll get the braces of archery and the +1 bow as well.
I still haven't even a chance to ask if they have what I want.
Yeah.
Well, what are you after?
There are a couple possibilities. One is obviously anything that he might have that could help a sorcerer. Not a sorcerer, a warlock.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Say that out loud.
I just said we supposedly we have protection, and then but actually the thing I'm most interested in is that I've heard about these masks that can change clothing. I was hoping to find a more permanent version of that, and also anything that might provide a little bit of extra protection, like a ring that provides protection,
or a cloak.
He does show you a fancy dress, and he says, "Go try it on."
Ooh.
All right, go try on the fancy dress.
So you get in, and it's a very nice sort of night, evening dress. You know, little black dress. Everyone knows one that's got a little black dress. We all have to have one. But as you turn, kind of thinking about like what you would wear to the costume party, it shifts into a different outfit, and then you kind of think like, well, what about this? And as you turn, it shifts into that outfit. But you are able to find that, and it always seems to fit perfectly. But asking about it, he says that it is 3,000 gold.
All right, that's my share.
Frosty, how much would so obviously
work out the math on that seems all right. Fine.
Obviously, a cloak of protection.
Sorry, 1,500 gold for the everyman.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right,
that's better.
that makes more sense.
So
It works better.
I was looking at the wrong table.
So Frosty, obviously a cloak of protection is awesome, but would he be able, given his massive enchanting prowess, which I'm sure is matched in size by other things, to enchant my trench coat to be a trench coat of protection? The same exact thing. I just, I want my trench coat to be magical.
Yes, but it would take him about a month.
Well, fine. How much for a cloak then?
1,000. He could it'd be 1,000 for him to enchant it, to do the enchanting on it. In order to buy the one, it would cost 1,500.
Oh,
Sorry, 800 for him to enchant it, 1,500 for him to buy one.
Oh,
Should we
well,
check the cost of Magnar's shield first? Just
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I can put forward some of my own money for my stuff.
yeah, we have
Yeah,
our own money to put forward.
Yeah,
as well,
exactly.
but
No,
we're-
I mean, like
we're getting
800 is also like literally like that's not even half of the 2,000. So I would do that.
Plus one shield is 1,500.
So we could get.
So we could get one, but not the other.
We're 500 over. I can put 500 of my gold towards my stuff.
Or if Hadrian
But-
wanted to
but-
do the 800, then we would have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do the 800. Yeah, that I
And
will
wait
I
the
will
month.
very reluctantly take off my trench coat. How far away is the Queen's birthday? Out of curiosity.
At this point,
So, darling Gilmore, would you be able, by any chance, given how good this looks on me, to rush it a bit for a bit more money? I know you're very busy. You have all sorts of clients demanding your attention.
But also your workmanship would be shown off at the Queen's birthday. so-
Correct. I already have a suit, but I plan to wear this over it, and I'm going in there as an angel, which I'm sure you can appreciate.
you need to buy her birthday.
If possible, I would love it by her birthday. Well, perhaps maybe the night before, so I can try it on, and really admire it before I go and show it off.
13 days to enchant.
It's good leather. It's very.
I've done more in less.
I'm sure you have.
So,
Do I need to make a persuasion check or something?
Yes.
By the way. Okay. I will make this. I will use my inspiration to make this at advantage. Actually. 24, and you know what? I'm going to use a hero point. That is a 30. Okay, I am just flirting with Gilmore. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I know he knows that I'm flirting with him because he seems to enjoy that. But I'm doing it very well, so I feel like he can at least appreciate the showmanship.
he says, "Oh, all right, but it'll cost you at least 1,300."
At least 1,300. You mean there's more I could pay? Well, I do want to talk about that at some point in time, but we can
Well,
discuss that
I say at
later.
least because I figured you might want to leave a tip.
Of course I'm going to leave a tip. Why wouldn't I leave a tip? How about I will leave you... I mean, I don't have a phone number, so I can't give that, but I will slide 1,300 gold. Well, I'm sorry.
And directions to Chateau Breton.
And the address of Chateau Breton, yes. And again, I figure with Gilmore, Hadrian's a very attractive man. I also think that Gilmore probably gets he seems insightful enough to know that this is like a tete-a-tete kind of game. But I'm very into it. So I will play that game with him as much as he wants.
All right.
And I will add trench coat of protection in 13 days.
How much is that going to cost then?
That's 1,300. So
Are you using your own gold though? Because then we would need to.
We can. I can put forth some mine for my stuff.
so that's
'Cause otherwise we would need to help
1,700
Magnar
left
pay.
after Hadrian's coat.
No, it's a little. No,
Additionally,
it's,
Westora.
1,300.
Yes.
1,300.
He does
And I-
have a shard of the Feywild for 8.
Isn't this?
That's a sorcerer thing.
Sorcerer thing.
Hang on, you said 1,300 left, so if I put in 200 of my own, I
No,
could get
I'm,
the shield.
I'm gonna put
No.
forth my gold. You
it would,
keep
it
yours.
would be it'd be 12. It would be 1,200 left after Hadrian's.
Feywild,
Now I feel
Feywild
bad.
Shard is a sorcerer.
because I've spent 3,000 of this gold. I'm gonna put
Oh,
some.
well, if you
more
don't mind
stuff.
putting in 300,
I spent 3,000 too, so I did get robbed though.
Yeah,
You
I
can
will
put it forward,
spend the
Garth.
gold.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I will spend
Well,
300 of
if
my
you
own
put
gold.
if you put in 300, then I'll get me. I'll pick up my shield.
Yeah.
Remind me, Frosty, the name of the dress.
It is. Where is it? I'm looking at the wrong stuff. Got to pull it up here. That's not the right one. That's the armor version.
Oh, this feels more like
Rosty,
it. Yes.
to clarify, if we do murder a Hydra and get its skin, it was 2,000, but also time, correct, for the serpent scale? I'm noting it down because I do eventually want to get it, but
Give me one moment. Where are you?
Well, this is quite the shop.
Yeah.
Didn't take
You
us
ain't
long to
kidding.
spend
I
quite
mean,
all that much
it's-
money, though, did it?
it's quite the proprietor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We,
also,
we were rich and then immediately not rich.
It's like money. I'll never spend it all.
Yes,
by the
yeah,
way,
that money
Gilmore,
works,
darling,
right.
how much would you buy say there was an item, a weapon, 2 weapons even, that would, if you numerically categorize your capacity to hit things and damage them, add 1 to that? Say one was a
So-
spear and one was a sword.
He sells them for 1,000. I was just gonna ask honestly, just to trade one 1-to-1.
Oh, interesting.
I just want to trade the spear for a glaive if I can.
He would not. It would cost you. He would only give you about a third of the value.
What if? Okay, so but
Third.
Addis, you really want that glaive? I have a sword that I'm not using, because I'm obviously using my own sword, which Magnar kindly blesses every day.
If we
could-
use the sword, the spear, and like I have like the bird call staff, would that potentially be able to make up?
I
the
could
cost?
give some of my gold to this if you wanted the sword, the spear, and Gilmore maybe I don't know another 200 gold with those 2 for the glaive. Is that acceptable?
He'd take that deal.
You could pretty them up
Okay.
a little bit, you know, put a ribbon on one. I don't know.
A magic
Yeah,
sword, a magic.
Thanks.
Well, you said you were giving him a magic sword and a
it-
magic spear for the
A
glaive.
plus-
It's a plus
plus
one,
one sword
plus
and a
one
pl-
of each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then yeah,
Plus one of each, and then 200 for a plus one glaive. Okay, cool. Thank you.
of course.
it is called a. Technically, if you want to add it from the inventory for Roll20 on the Dragon Drop, it's called a Cloak of Many Fashions. But I might not actually have that. While wearing this cloak, you can use a bonus action to change the style, color, and apparent quality of the garment and its appearance. The cloak, the dress weight doesn't change regardless of its appearance, and it can't be anything but some kind of some kind of dress. It can be any kind of dress, just has to be some kind of dress.
Sure.
If we ever get more money, I'm coming back for that.
And it can duplicate the exact appearance of other dresses. And in this case,
Out of
and I'm playing fairly loose with like the outfit. Like if you wanted it to be a pantsuit, that'd be fine.
Sure.
out of curiosity, Gilmore, how much would a warbling seashell? How much would you buy for one of those? I know they're pretty potent, like magical crafting tools.
They certainly have their uses, and it's been a while since I've managed to acquire one that had one of the particular chirping birds in it. So if it had once been host to one, 600 gold.
I have one. Mangar, you had a bunch, didn't you?
I have 4 of them. Yeah,
I've
I'm
got,
gonna sell those.
I've got 3.
Yeah.
I will
Oh.
sell 4 warbling seashells.
I only need 4 of them.
Okay, so Magna. So why don't we each
each give like one, and then you could give two because I only have one, so I'd like to
Yeah,
do
that
better.
sounds fair. Right, one each, and you give two because you've got the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 400, right?
600 for each one.
600.
Oh, 600. Damn.
To clarify for us, the bracers of archery only give a +2 to damage, not to hit, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
He got scammed.
Okay,
Damn you,
Gilmore. Last question. Now
He
that
was
I
exaggerating and using colorful language.
yeah. It was, yeah.
Gilmore, now that I've come
scam.
into a bit more money, I find that if I were to acquire the materials, I could almost afford what I can only assume would be a lovely bit of serpent scale armor from you. So, do you, I don't know, is there anyone in this city who happens to just have a passion for skinning hydras or things like that? Because
Not that I know of. Well, maybe my ex, but, you know, we're not on speaking terms.
Oh, do not call yourself a hydra, Gilmore. I'm sure that your one head is more than enough.
I was just saying that he was a bit of a brute.
Oh. But you implied he wanted to skin you. I'm sorry. I was trying to play into it. I didn't mean to bring anything up.
No.
I don't think he's a debt at all.
Interesting. All right. Well,
Also, while we're here, I don't know if you carry anything. It might be too mundane for something like you. But do you have any arrows? I'm kind of running low. I'd rather not go
He
stuck
just
somewhere else.
raises an eyebrow at you.
I'd rather not go
I
somewhere
have
else.
plenty of arrows.
Just normal arrows. I don't want to spend a fortune on these.
he wants
Why be
Cupid's arrow.
normal, darling? Why not be exceptional?
Me corn purse is hurting a little bit.
Oh, you need me to kiss it to make it better.
If the only thing that makes it better is putting more gold in it.
Oh man, see, Hadrian has to not try with people, I think.
Says, well, when your little bruised coin purse is feeling inflated again, come back, and I've got plenty of arrows for you.
All right.
We do still need, Garth, we still do need costumes. Neither of us have costumes.
Right.
By the way, so we could go to that tailor shop. Maybe he has hydra skin. I'll say to them
I don't
on
want
the way out.
but I don't want to insult Gilmore. I don't know. Do you have any?
Oh, I
Other
carry
than the
several
cool
mask
magic.
charms for the birthday. If you're short
just
on
charms.
cash, they're only 300 apiece. I could take a couple more of those seashells off for a fair trade. Seems I'm overexpending by taking them all off your hands, but you're giving
Okay,
something
so-
rather nice.
So why don't I give you one more of mine? For
I can give 300 for a mask.
are you
So I
sure
can
you
just
don't?
pay for a mask.
I'll take one for one of your shells, Hadrian, if you'd want.
The shell got me back up decently, so I'm fine to spend 300 for a mask.
Well, if you want,
Magna,
if you're
Magna,
willing.
you need an outfit. too, though, Magna.
Do I need an outfit? Can I not just go as a cleric?
Magna, look at yourself.
Yes.
Look at me.
I
I'm writing
look at
orders.
Gilmore. I look at Magna. I look at Gilmore. I look at Magna. Do you see the problem here? He
No,
needs
Mag-
an outfit.
Magna, if you were,
Yes.
for example, to do
Yes.
a really important service
Yes.
as a cleric, do you wear different clothing than you do when you're, say, out killing heathens?
Well, I might give it a clean first.
Magna
Okay.
doesn't kill demons. He tries really hard. But
Well, I
that's
said heathens,
anything.
but
Oh,
Yeah.
or heathens.
well, it's like that, but now people expect you to look nicer.
Right. I
If you-
didn't actually get the analogy the first time round.
Okay,
Okay.
So to outfit these two,
And you see the gentleman you're talking to is sort of tan, open, loose white shirt, flowing pants, very well dressed hair done up, perfume, a little bit of chest hair.
this is Gilmore you're talking to.
yes.
Yeah, right. But yeah.
So I need to go looking like this.
Well manicured
No,
hands.
you couldn't pull it off. I mean, Gilmore can because, but
I think the best thing to do is for us to see if we can't find some clerical robes for you that are new and fresh and nicely pressed, and get you a mask. That would be my guess. You don't have to go crazy here. You don't have to dress up too nicely. If you can wear whatever you're comfortable with, but you just want to make sure that it's new, it's nice, it's probably better than what you would normally wear, and a mask. And that
I
should
will.
probably-
Yeah, I will
Right.
hand Gilmore a warbling seashell and just say, "Please give my," and I gesture to Garth, "my sartorially challenged but endearingly himbo friend a mask charm. I'm sure he'll do well with it."
Of course. And he sets down the little domino, like lacy masks, like these little ribbons that you wear. And they're mostly
You
like a
have-
little mask shape, and it's got a ribbon that looks like it's about the size to tie around the arm.
Well, how do those work then?
You use it, give yourself a little twirl, and describe the outfit you want to wear.
And so the dress that you got, by the way, was Stora. That just does that like infinite, like forever, right? Compared to the limited
Basically,
charges.
yes,
on
that was my point. Yes, because I know I'm gonna find this useful even after.
But these have
If
like
I if I had a
just
bit
in case
extra
I-
gold, I could actually buy one of those, and I'm interested.
Like
He
the
looks at
dress?
your
Slot machine.
size,
Yeah.
kind of measures you up. I think
How
I've
much
got
gold
just
do you
the
need
thing.
for it, Addis?
Sorry, what did he, what
So
did
I think
Gilmore
I've got
say?
just the thing. Kind of goes
Okay,
upstairs.
yeah,
Come with me, and
if
just
it-
kind of like
okay.
grabs you and pulls you along.
If it's
Bye,
the same
Addis.
price,
It
I need
was
like
nice
200.
knowing you.
I need like 200 gold.
He starts sizing you up and eventually kind of puts you in, like, plays dress up a little bit with a couple of different outfits, and then he's like, no, okay, yeah, this one, put this on, and kind of gives you. He's like, you have exotic look, don't you? You're very exotic, unique, stoned, hard, passionate. Ooh, we need something. Got just the thing. Are you familiar with Takama?
A coma?
Takama. I have just the very same thing imported from a far off land. No one has ever seen one of these before. You'll be the life of the party.
Okay.
And he pulls out
Sure.
a pair of hakama and kimono. And he says, try these on. Traded
We'll
them
put
from
them
a
on?
demon. He lost a bet.
Am I supposed to be wearing like breeches under this? Because I'm going.
Oh, I can help you
full-
get dressed if you
thing.
like.
Sure. Why not?
He's very professional. As much as he's flirtatious, he just helps you get dressed. He's like and gets dressed in a kimono, and it's very fancy hakama kimono. But like as you turn around, it like he's like daring and throws it, and it's like this billowing kind of black, with gray things, and it's kind of got little singe elements on it a little bit, and then he's like Hawaiian. And turns it around and it like has this Hawaiian pattern on it.
That's Addis. That's
That's
Addis.
amazing.
That's it. It's just
It's
flowers.
amazing. I love it. How much?
That one is a little more expensive. It is 2 pieces. 4,000.
Ooh.
You can see the desire in Addis's eyes, everybody listening at home. You can see that
I
he
want
wants it
it.
so much.
I want it so much. Okay, how about this? I have this staff that would be really great in the bedroom.
A bird call staff.
You could make a goose noise. You could make an owl hooting. You could make all manner of bird-related noises
I have
to
just
charm
use
your
for
partner.
that. You can see he's almost chuckling, like at the thought, blushing, and like not looks like he doesn't insinuate anything bad, but like his playfulness, you can see he definitely thinks 3,000 in the staff.
3,000 in the staff. Adrian, I need you to spot me some money.
I could do you another.
I'm gonna come up and say what?
I could do you another shell.
Addis, that pattern is very floral. It sort of
I
fits you, and
know.
it sort of absolutely
know.
doesn't. I like it, but
I'd be like a big flowery rock.
what? Okay, what's the damages we're looking at here?
3,000. I have 1,350. So
Okay,
I'll probably get 1,300, right?
I
So I
could
need
so
1,700.
technically I could get you enough for that, but I do have to ask Gilmore. With everybody getting these fancy clothes, I have to like.
And then, is there like a discount? That's a good point. Yeah, we've been.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, if you were to also, and we were sort of, we're going to the Queen's Ball as guests, and
Well,
also
you
sort of.
were looking for fancy armor, so with the 1400 you played, if you were to add, take all of that, give me the staff, the two things, all the shells, and
I have more shells.
yes, I'm including those.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Is that
One
my two as
additional
well?
1,000, I can give you an armored version of those clothes.
You mean for Addis or for me?
You guys can divvy it up. I'll give you the whole set, all three of them.
All three. So okay, Rossi, what is the armored version of this clothes? What kind of armor is that?
You would know once you bought it.
I.
Wait,
So
so I'm
how-
sorry. So there's an armor. It would be what when you say there's three pieces.
So basically,
So,
it'd be
West-
Westora, Addis,
Addis and
Hadrian.
an armored version for you guys to decide who wears what.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need the armored version, so you could
I-
use the armored version.
Yeah, I would, but So Gilmore, what weight and sort of protection value would you say that armor had?
It's
right.
it's like a. Fabric,
It's
right?
light, and it'll protect you better than any leather ever could.
And you say we need all the shells and 1,400 additional gold.
And the staff, right?
Yes.
The staff's important to this.
And one
Hey.
extra 1,000. An extra 1,000.
So
And
the
an
staff,
extra-
all the shells, 2,400.
1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I look at
So
Addis.
if I pay the extra 1,000, right?
Yeah. And I will pay the 1,400 and give him the shell.
Hang on, and is that my two shells as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's all
all
the
of
shells. I
Right.
will look at Gilmore and say, but I want you, if you're putting this on me, I want you to tell me how you think it would look best on me, because I trust your sartorial judgment more than my own. So tell me how to instruct me how to. I don't fucking know the term. I'm trying to be cool, and I'm a fossil, so like, very very old person, much older than I look apparently. Tell me how to dance the catwalk with it. What should I wear with it? And then the money is yours.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've got a
So-
thought.
Okay, I will give the 1,400 and all my shells. Yeah, and Addis is paying the 1,000. So
Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be two shells over.
All right.
Oh, and is this the same thing as Restorer, or is this a different?
No, this is studded
Oh.
leather armor +1 with the effect of being able to transform into assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing of any kind.
so it can be fancy clothing too.
Or it can appear as any kind of armor, although it doesn't gain the benefits.
That is awesome.
And then with the other one,
It retains its normal
Right.
bark and weight, and the illusionary appearance lasts until you use this property again or you remove the armor.
I put it on. Okay, so Gilmore, for me, right? What look do you think I should go for? You see what I've usually gone for, but like, give me some fashion advice here.
You've caught me.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm trying as a player as well, because we're rolling with it. We're rolling with the
Yeah.
shopping episode. Hey, look. So I am tall.
He kind of says,
dark,
"Oh no,
handsome,
that you
rough."
want the dark handsome? You should have something a bit lacy up top, kind of spins you around, and a bit of a pirate flair, and this black kind of tunic with a little bit of ruffle.
So it's a black. It's like
So-
a black. So it's basically like
Heavy
a silk
kind of-
version of the coat that I usually wear with sort of the ruffles and.
Except the jacket becomes a brocade with silver filigree outline threads, and there's a few leather straps kind of hooked around.
Ooh, interesting.
Ah, Gilmore. Those masquerade masks where you twirl and you say what you'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could?
Yes.
Could you
right.
preset one of those with an appearance? I don't think I'd get it right as I twirled and sort of described it. Do you think you could sort of preset it so that when I did it, it came out right?
Unfortunately, they don't quite work that way. Although you could try writing it down as a script. I mean,
Well, yes,
Can you
that
read?
would work. If you just wrote that down for me, and then I'll read it out when I do it.
All right. And what would you like your outfit to look like, little one?
Well, no, as has been well established, I've got me cleric
You're gonna let
robes
him
and
pick
the
it for
spare
you?
set of cleric
So-
robes.
If you're going to a party, you can't show up as a cleric. You'll make
I
everyone
think-
it's some sort of religious event.
Right.
Magna,
That's
so-
such a faux pas. No, what you need.
So,
is a red vest and a pointy hat.
I will let this gentleman decide rather than you, Adrian, if you don't mind.
I know.
No, he kind of sizes you up and looks, and he's like, "Well, we obviously don't want to put you in vertical stripes or horizontal stripes. That just wouldn't work, right? However, we would want to got a bit of clumpiness, a little edge, so perhaps something a little flowing with the pants, a little bit of a bulky jacket, and kind of gives you this over sort of puffed up vest, and you want to look priestly, so a little bit of." We'll put a couple of golden trims. He kind of starts describing this outfit. And you're going to the
What about a
masquerade,
cape?
so you need to have a mask. And basically, he describes a set of armor that looks, an outfit that looks like various riveted plates anchored together, shaped like a long priestly robe with bronze and brass sort of arcs and rings representing like different alchemies and crafted tastes. It has a very, it almost seemed to you resembles Ishgardian. There's a whimsy to it that almost clockwork, but not from sort of someone attempting to produce that style without a full understanding of what any of that stuff is. And it moves, the really thin plates, there's no actual protection or armor. It's just this long floating thing with a large horned mask. With one side is silver and the other side looks like iron. It looks like they've been fused together with the silver platinum material.
That actually sounds. See, I'm glad I asked you for that because I'd have come out looking like a. Well, I don't know what. Right. Well, I've got all that. I've got all that written down. So I just need to swirl and sort of describe this as I go. Is that right? Excellent. How much was that mask again?
It's 300 gold.
300?
And is that one use? Or
Yeah, the first one, that would be one use, and it only has 3 uses.
oh, it has 3. Oh, all right, fine. I might come back for some other descriptions later.
Well,
Out of curiosity.
him showing it to you would have used one of the uses.
Oh, I see. Right, so I've got 2
And
So you're
left.
buying a used one, yeah.
That's fine.
Out of curiosity, can this outfit include a hat or not?
Well, mine included a mask. Oh, yours? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Because I feel like Hadrian would spin.
They can
And-
turn into various outfits, basically.
Right. So,
It's just
I
there's
think-
the unarmored version and the armor
Yeah.
version.
I feel like Hadrian would spin, and you would see him turn into sort of a slightly more elegant version of Godric's attire, including the hat. And just how much would he hate this? And like tip the hat down.
I saw a person wearing that exact outfit the other day.
Oh, that was my brother, I think. What was he doing?
He
Did
was
you buy
looking over the
anything
course
interesting?
of magical items and wasn't seeing anything he liked. However, he did ask about those in the trade and that knew how to acquire, and some of the people that I do business with. He was a rather charming gent, very colorful, flowery language.
Oh,
Had a great time talking to him. But
I as he says to say, perchance, did he regale you with language of olden time, wherein you saw in the poetry of his speech the tragedy of his heart, and therein see the truth of his nature and the truth of your own? For 'tis in words that we find beauty, not in deeds.
oh, do be still my heart. Yeah, that's quite him. But
I give a little bow, and
I helped him out. He seemed to have Gone
Where did
his
you
way.
send him?
You said he was looking for people to help him acquire items. I don't suppose you described and I'll describe the person who was checking out the ring at the museum.
The
The one-
gnome.
The gnome that was
Make an insight
what?
check.
I did ask Frosty where did he send him, by the way. I don't know if I got an answer.
Oh, I just sent him on his way. I helped him out. It's no big deal. Client, shopkeeper, confidentiality.
Certainly, but you see, Sorry,
I rolled
sorry.
a 17.
There's definitely some recognition in his face about the person you're describing.
But you see, my good Gilmore, his brother, his flesh and blood, look, not to regale him with words, but to rather provide him with what he seeks and what he needs. I seek a gift worthy of him and of our love as brothers for each other, and so if you didst point him in a direction, I would know, for 'twould be very bad form indeed to get him the same gift he already got himself, a gift of the Magi, if you will.
I'm very sorry, I can't help you. You wouldn't trust me either if you thought that I would give out information about yourselves to anyone who asks.
Oh, I look at him and just not. 'Tis true, dear Gilmore, 'tis true. Trust earned is trust
Everyone
given.
everyone must have their secrets. Makes us far more interesting people. Anyways, was there anything else that I could help you all with?
I mean, just on the topic of that mysterious man, right?
Quite the
I'd
gentleman,
be-
actually.
I figured, but be careful because he is wanted. So
And also, he's my brother, so you know. he
Charming
can't
and
be trusted.
dangerous.
Yeah. But I mean, like when I say wanted, I mean like inquisitors and stuff. So he might be bad for business.
I look at Gilmore and just say, apple, tree,
Well,
the
I
right
won't
thing.
say anything if you don't, darling.
Hmm.
But thank you for the warning.
A last thought: do you have much in the way of potions?
Plenty. What are you looking for?
Oh, just right, or just your bog standard healing potion. Maybe taking up a notch.
I've got 2 of them on me currently.
But it wouldn't hurt to have 1 or 2 more.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to pick a
I
potion.
actually have a healing potion too. But yeah,
I have
And
these
I've got
healing
this-
potions. They're pretty standard, but for 500 apiece. They are on quite demand after everything in Versailles.
I've got one, so I'll hold off.
I do have these potions of resistance of various kinds for only 300. Almost as helpful.
I mean, I didn't pay no 500.
Oh, it's
for
always so
mine.
hard to know what you need resistance of in advance.
yeah.
I will take a healing potion.
I've got a shop I know that charges less than that for healing potions.
What does in less than that? Unless these are a bit better than their average. You did say they were just normal.
Right, but the one I
Maybe
got,
go where you got yours.
I traded a keg of ale for 2 of them.
That does sound like a better price. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't the best place to pick up.
You won't find
He's
better. I mean, these are rather lackluster for me, but you won't find better anywhere else.
It's the best place for everything, obviously.
yeah.
Shame.
It's a very
Knock,
amazing
knock.
general store, but there might be a more specific alchemy stores. I think what Garth
To
was
each
saying.
their own.
Pulls out his pearl and wanders over and just sees if Gilmore stops him doing identify.
He won't.
Alright. Identifying the magic potion.
It is a potion of superior healing.
Oh, that'll do it.
I will buy one for 500.
Hey, there we go. There we go. So that's what he considers to be a normal potion. then?
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
You notice there isn't a lot of, like, you guys have almost
Everything's
bought
pretty
all
good.
of his base +1 stuff. He doesn't really carry
mundane.
basics.
He's high end.
He's more about commissions, I think, which is why I was asking about armor. But this is just beautiful. I mean, come on, like
I mean, look, like Addis will spend and turn into a maid costume. Like this is amazing.
Addis
On demand.
never change. I mean, always change.
I
But
mean,
never,
well,
never,
I mean,
never
I probably
change
should
who
take the
you
clothes.
are.
I should take the clothes off at some point, but yeah.
Oh, I look at Gilmore, obviously.
He just like as Ada says that, he just says, "Absolutely, sweetie."
That's what I was getting at. Okay, Gilmore. I do believe, unless anyone else here has something else they would like, other than the delightful conversation and company, our business might
Do
be
you guys remember
concluded.
the 300 for both of the mask charms for Garth and?
So for Garth, I
I'm
gave
paying
a
the
wobbling
300.
shell.
I
Oh,
paid
no.
300.
The shells
Okay.
went towards the other shit, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna pay 300.
Yeah.
They have 3 charges, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
3 charges. I think, but Magnar says 2 because of
And they basically work as you cast disguise self on yourself.
Out of curiosity, Frosty, how does what's the action economy on the ever changing?
It is a bonus action.
Oh,
So Addis,
Oh!
if you want to turn into Mary Poppins and jump down, you got to do it all in one round. I know.
I could do it in the same
I-
round.
The thing is, I knew what you were thinking when you asked that, and I was
Yep.
like, "Yep."
Yep. Or like if I would grapple someone, I just turn into get
I'm
the
Mary
full
Poppins,
like.
y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Who's got the umbrella? You, Adam?
Addis
I do.
does.
Addis still has it, yeah.
I gave it to him because I thought he would be terrifying coming down from the sky with the umbrella. And
There hasn't been a good chance to use it yet. We'll have to see.
once
I should have
we get
thrown
fly,
that at bird. Yeah.
All right. And with that, we are going to take our break.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see everyone shortly and hopefully finish up our shopping. I think we're done with our shopping episode.
we are done with our shopping, so
Yeah.
we can go do other
We've
stuff.
got no money left.
Sorry, everyone. We had to get new shit.
Toodles, we'll be back. All right. And we're back, everybody. Hi. Glad to see you still here. So now that you guys have finished up shopping and are returning to the Chateau Breton to kind of figure out what's been going on, think about and discuss some of the stuff you've learned, perhaps plan or coordinate. You've been given some direction. Yeah, that is the case.
I mean,
So, a couple of
honestly,
objectives.
we spent a lot of money. We might want to look at making some, or honestly, getting a monthly stipend from Jill doesn't seem like too bad of a thing.
I think we might need a daily stipend at the rate
Hey-
we burn through his money.
Adrian, we can exclude you from the monthly stipend if you.
No. You don't have to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying as in no money because
I
will
know.
Yeah.
It's Jill. I get it.
Yeah, I thank you. I'm thinking of the pain I'm gonna have to go through every time he comes in. Well, thank you for serving Amaris. Here is the money that you invalids deserve for the services provided to my cousin and me, mostly me. I'm
you know what?
Jay.
You know
Honestly,
what?
did you just get
Frankly,
possessed?
well, quite frankly, right now we're just working with him for Godric. I mean, I'm could easily be convinced once this part's done to leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
we don't
I-
have to stay here under the
I've been interested in trying to get access to the school, so. And I know Magnar was interested as well. So.
Speaking of the school, can I ask a question?
To
Everyone.
Okay.
Well, I don't think anything's going to stop you, so go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you, but I
No,
already
stop!
asked one.
Don't ask a question.
You've
I think
already
that was his
asked
question.
one. Yeah.
Mm.
I'll give you one more. 'Cause I'm
Okay.
nice.
Elsbeth was put into the orphanage system.
That's a statement.
Yes, I know. I'm prefacing my question, so
Okay.
Context.
Okay.
Wasn't
give
part
me
of
a
the deal.
second.
Context. Filling it up to it. Sure.
If there's one thing we saw from talking to Jacques, it's that individuals with magical prowess in this majestic fascist magistic fascist country are under threat. I don't know what the system will do to her, but if she doesn't have relatives, I think, Restora, you're right that we shouldn't be the ones to care for her. I still want to check in on her, but I personally do not fancy the idea of Gilles de Rais having access to a child that could be used as leverage, or generally speaking.
I have a question.
Mm.
What makes her different than any of the other children that may have magical powers here in the orphanage system? Why just her? Why not every child at that point?
Well, that's a good next step, but for right now...
But, like, that's the thing. What makes her special? She's just another child. I hate to say it, but she is.
Because, Garth, we were there and responsible for the situation that killed her father. And
we were not responsible.
The fact that I can't save every single person in the system does not mean I don't want to save one. And if I can save one, if we can help one, I will help others until either all of them are helped or I am dead. And that is irrational, and it is fucking stupid, but...
I do not think it is irrational for you to want to help the one child that we've encountered and have had a personal connection with. Certainly, I understand your concerns. What do you propose we do then? Because you already said you don't expect us to care for her, so clearly you must have some kind of plan.
I do. We've already met a young girl with a lot of potential and a lot of vim and vigor and a talent for magic who has a father who cares about her. And maybe he would be willing to adopt Elsbeth.
I'm gonna, just as a immediate issue I would see with this, and this isn't like against Jock, is he was struggling to put Elsbeth into school because of money. I think if you're going to try and put another...
to put Athelina into school.
Yeah.
You know, but... Sorry, yeah, but...
Yeah.
Either way, if he's a nice guy, he might accept, but you would need to give him enough money to still send her, or even... Because he's one guy. He's a single father. You're asking him to take another child.
I know. Here's the thing. We just spent a lot of money. We still have some money, and we will make more money. I personally, I don't ask this from all of you, I would dedicate whatever money it took for that. If it could help him.
So they're coming up to Amaris so she can go to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I mean, I don't know the system, but if we leave her in, the orphanage for a bit, wait for Jack to come up, because we're gonna have to do that anyway. Like, we can't send her down.
No, that's. I'm sorry. I didn't mean like rush off to Jacques while he's coming up here and just like, hi, we have a child for you.
So she's still going to be in the orphanage system for probably like a month or two.
Yes,
at least.
Unfortunately, I will say I do beg all of your leaves to check in on her occasionally to make sure that there's no shenanigans or that she's okay, right? She likes books. She likes nursery rhymes. I'll try and find some things to bring her and read to her.
Maybe Gilmore is willing to adopt.
Wow.
He'd be a fun dad.
He'd be such a fun dad. We could co-parent. No, there's fantasies, not reality. The point is, I know you all don't trust me or us, with good reason. With the girl, but if you can let me check in on her occasionally, and when Jock gets here, we can propose this sort of arrangement, and hopefully by then we'll have gathered enough money that I can donate whatever I have to putting her through school.
I would just also say, like, I'm fine with this. I'm okay. I agree. I will try and help. I can't promise I'm going to put money towards it, but
No, it's fine.
if I have spare money, I'll try. Right.
Mhm.
If you go and contact this girl, if you go in and have a regular or even irregular time where you go and check on her, Jill will know. Like you know that, right? He's keeping tabs on us. Like he's gonna know.
Yeah,
There's a good chance he might try and swipe her. I'm just
I know, but I also know, unfortunately, I don't believe he doesn't know already. I mean, we were in
That's
the
fair.
library.
Yeah.
Like, and speaking of which,
Make insight checks.
don't make an insight check to tell us we're right. I know we're right.
Not one. That's a not one.
15.
Oh.
I've got a
Jill's
hero
super
point of mine.
trustworthy. He's great. He's giving us money. Jill's
16.
amazing.
16?
Yeah,
Anyone
He's
else
a teacher.
roll?
He's great.
23.
He's a teacher. He's great with kids. Obviously.
Jill brought books that you guys were looking for. He brought
In the
books,
library.
No, he brought books that you guys had discussed and asked about, but not the books you had found in the library, as though he didn't know you possibly had already gotten the information.
Oh, so he didn't know we were in the library.
Mm.
I don't know
Okay.
because I'm dumb and I rolled in that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something.
He did seem to know when you got home.
Right, so he's scrying here. So okay, so here's what I'll do. I would like all of you to do your thing. Here, Addis, yell at me. Tell me to get the fuck out.
Ah,
Ah, what the fuck? You're such a mean person. And I'm gonna, as like whatever argument proceeds, I'm gonna walk out and use my fancy new armor to disguise myself as a portly Ameresian gentleman. Not portly, but like, you know, I guess I can't disguise myself, but a sort of nondescript, and I'm gonna try and go to
As
a
you're
bookstore.
walking through the streets,
Mhm.
you start to notice occasionally people looking at you, peeking from behind a newspaper, kind of glancing, watching the way you go. You start to see a couple of people that are dressed in kind of these robes that look not quite official, but nice. Kind of in pairs following you, and you'll turn a corner and they'll keep going. And then a couple blocks later, you'll see them coming again, kind of following you. I swear you keep seeing these people popping up around the corners, watching you, following you, keeping tabs
get
on
into a
you.
tuxedo and do the full bond.
Do they look Arukian by any chance?
No, they seem Ameresian.
Okay. I'm gonna go into a bookstore. Can I find a bookstore?
Yeah. See a sort of old man kind of look up from his book and kind of raise his glasses. And you can see his long, pointy nose and ratty, silvered and gray hair. He's wearing black, long robes. He's got a very narrow, pointed chin. Looks very frail and weak. Slight glasses, kind of eating these, what look like little round coins almost, but they've got encrusted bits in them. And there's a little bit of green in them, and when he takes a bite, they have a little bit of a snap. There's a bit of a vinegary scent in the air.
Oh, hello.
What can I help you find?
I'm looking for books of sort of fantastical tales and fantasies for a young child. Someone who's interested in adventure and bravery. Folklore, you know, children's tales.
All right. We have Tales in the Dark over on the shelf over there. Selected Quintessences. Amberley and the Pearl.
Ooh, that sounds spicy.
A rather haunting tale about a little fish They wanted to be something else and made a bad deal to get on land.
Ooh. Did she sing a song about all the stuff that she liked? And never mind. We don't. So how much for all of these?
40 gold.
I will pay the 40 gold. I will nod and say thank you. I'm just gonna add
He
books
just
for
slowly gets up, and you note that there doesn't seem to be any pain in his movement, but it is eerie how slow
Yeah,
this
he
man
moves very
moves.
slow. I'm gonna. So how many books am I buying?
4.
Okay, I'm gonna add books for Elsbeth, and I'm going to go to the orphanage after this.
Make an investigation, see if you can find it.
I found it last time. I know where it is.
I thought you were speaking. Oh, all right. I thought you had.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I went to it and got information. I came back because RP. So
No, not a problem. It's been a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the orphanage.
As you walk in, one of the young women there is kind of like, "Oh, hi. How can I help you? Are you looking to adopt?"
Perhaps in time, but I would like to speak to one of the children here who was brought recently. Elsbeth is her name.
Do you know the last name?
Valjean.
I'm sorry, we don't have an Elspeth Valjean.
Prismari.
She at first goes to look, and it's like, "I'm sorry, but if there were any Prismaris here, they would have been returned to their families."
I narrow my eyes at her. Listen, there was a girl brought here. I already came and saw her. Or checked in. She's here.
Do you have a description?
I will describe her. Obviously, he knows. I can't because you didn't describe her, but he spent
Yeah.
like 12 hours cradling this child. He knows exactly what she looks like.
I believe I did describe and
No.
showed a picture of her. But she would go, "Oh, Miss Guild. Yeah, she is here. She oh, how do I say this? She's very talented, and it seems that she does have divine lineage in her blood. So she was moved to one of the noble quarter houses. Um, they're still trying to find out who her family was. So she's being interviewed by some of the staff at a facility, but she'll be returned here by this evening. Are you
Wait.
Are you family? Are you here to... I can't
Yes.
let you wait. So especially considering that you're armed around the children, I think I've been quite understandable so far.
I will. I will sit outside.
Do you have a residence? I could have a runner contact you when she's returned.
House Breton?
Oh, Monsieur Baton, I did not know you had returned. Uh, Rumor was that you had left to travel the world. My
Changed
apologies.
lineages as such, as it seems many do around here.
Um, are you not Michel Breton?
We are a relation.
Ah, my apologies. Of course. I will have a runner sent as soon as if you would like, I can arrange for a visitation time tomorrow afternoon.
I nod. And I look at her and, can you, could you give her something when she is back here?
Of course, Monsieur Breton.
Okay. Okay. And I will hand her one of the books and say, tell her it's from her guardian angel who told her about the ghost fish and wants her to be happy.
Yeah, yes, Mister.
And I'm giving one of the 4 books.
Okay. So while Hadrian's off doing that, Westora, Garth, Addis, Magnar, what are you guys doing?
Are we back at Chateau Breton?
Yeah, you guys are at the house. Hadrian was like, "Hey, piss me off," and went off and stormed off after talking about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me? I mean, no. Do we want me? What am I on about? I want to stab something. Is there anything we could like fight?
Try out our new weapons.
Yeah.
Was there a? Well, it might be a bit much to get involved. I thought there was an arena of some kind here.
No, I mean like that might be. I'd be interested if we could find one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. One of the
Make some
rumors
money.
we heard. Well, I mean, one of the rumors we heard was about that some disappearances near a theater.
Oh, you're right.
Maybe
We could check
maybe
that out.
there's
Yeah.
something related to that we could look into. That might end up.
Should
being
we?
funny.
We could go check that out. Leave a note for Adrian saying we've gone to the
Theater.
He'll
the
be
Balloon
back before
Theater?
too long. We can wait for him to get here. I hate for us to get involved. Like if there was a fight, I would rather have him there.
I mean,
than
I doubt we're gonna get into a fight. I mean, without Hadrian, the chance of us getting into a fight
Much lower.
goes down significantly.
That is true.
I'm not gonna start a fight where there isn't one. I'm just itching to do something.
Right.
Ah. Well, while we're waiting for him, would you mind helping me out with a couple of little experiments?
Sure.
Who?
Define experiments.
Well, you remember that bottle you had so much fun with back in Versailles?
Yeah, do you still have it?
I do.
Guys, come here.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's no. Like, could you go and have a look in the kitchen, see if you can find a glass jar or a box or something?
Okay. I'll go try and find a glass jar or a box or something.
You're able to. It's kind of dusty and
I bring back a selection.
It's a little cracked.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
you find a
Yeah,
few
let's-
various ones, a glass, a jar. One of them's got a bunch of weird stuff in it that's like floating around, looking weird. Kind of
I can't tell if
strange
this
little
is a
tendrils
Right,
growing off of it.
yeah, this one will do. It's got a good tight fitting lid. Right, now, take the lid off. Right. And Magnus smashes the bottle in half, takes half of it, throws it in a jar. Right, slam the lid on.
Okay.
So you take the bottle that won't break.
The
That
bottle that
breaks,
reassembles itself and put
And we're
half
trapping
of the
half
bottle.
of it
In a
we're trapping
jar.
Half of it in
Yeah.
a jar.
Addis, make a deck save.
Oh God.
Oh.
Is this dangerous? Am I getting dangerous since on this?
Yes.
Okay. 23.
So as you feel the jar like shaking in your hand as the pieces come back up and the glass jar shatters as the glass that's in the jar breaks through the other glass and it reassembles.
Holy shit.
That's
Right.
crazy.
That was rather more powerful than I was. Right. I'm not.
It took it a second, like it struggled, and then it just built up until it broke through the glass.
Hear me out. We put half of it on one side of Garth and the other half on the other side of Garth, and we see what happens.
I think we end up with a perforated jar.
Let's try it.
No.
Come on. You're no fun.
You saw what it did to the bloody jar.
I'm not made of glass. We don't know
No,
for
like-
sure.
Do you not think you might want to try it with like a plank of wood or something before we try it with
I'm
you?
not made of wood either. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're not Stella. What?
Well, we could try. I mean, I'm all for experimentation, and I was going to kind of build up to could we use it as a.
What if we could try it on like a door? Do we have any doors around that we don't particularly care for?
Again, I'm not made of anything a door's made of. If we're gonna test for this for a weapon, we should try it
You
as a
don't.
weapon.
The trouble is, you don't have long to move with the thing to get it
I'll-
round to the other side of
See,
you.
I can heal myself if I need to.
You know what? Screw it. I'll try it. Smash. I will try and Garth, lay down, and I'll put one on either side of you.
All right.
Like you know how like they use bamboo and it like grows
I
through
don't
people like
think
that.
this is
You know.
going
where
to end well, but
Okay. So like
Where
you
are you
smash
going
the
with
bottle
this?
and just push Garth face down over his chest onto the other half, which you hear crunch.
I will say,
beneath
going
him.
for
And Garth,
going.
I need you to make a con save.
Okay.
I'm aiming for God. What is a good part of? I'm aiming for lower torso. That's not great.
Yeah, lower torso. Yeah.
Yeah.
Con
God.
save.
I'm not going for the
There's
face.
nothing
I'm
important
going-
there.
That's an 8.
Intestine?
So as you fall onto it and you hear the glass break, the other glass shards fly forward, and all of the glass slices through your body before it becomes whole in the center, and you're reduced to 0 HP.
Oh.
Spare the dying.
Holy shit! Did we just get a?
Oh
Did we
no.
just get something? Oh my god!
No, like he was a willing person that let you do it. Like this is not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
situation.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not. Right, can you just
No,
lie on
but
this half of the
still.
bottle while I put the other half? No. Terribly impractical weapon. It's not quite where I was going with this.
I'm
me out,
unconscious.
Hear me out. If we tied
Yeah,
somebody
he's
up,
just like that. The bottle is
well-
literally like it took a chunk, and there's a chunk of Garth in the bottle. As you
Oh,
do
God.
pull the bottle out. There's just like this tube
Garth,
of Garth.
stop
in the
getting
bottle.
chunks of yourself ripped out by sharks and magical
hear me out.
bottles.
Hear me
Right,
out.
well,
If
hang on. I've got him stable.
if
Get
we-
the bottle
if
off
we
him, and I'll
capture
try and bring
Godric-
him back up.
If we capture Godric, this is how we kill him.
I think it's safe to say this was our worst idea.
Nope.
Well,
We
other
learned
than
something. We
cut
learned
your
something
arm.
there.
And
'Cause
drag
it
him
really-
dark
it
infested
really-
waters.
Did not accomplish anything.
Can I
We
say?
found out so much
Oh,
stuff.
you
No,
all
no,
just,
we
like,
really
shat-
didn't.
Everyone just shat on Hadrian for getting us into fights, but this, no, he's not that
We only
stupid.
kind of killed Garth.
Only I'm not dead.
You're
I'm
not
just a
dead,
little
Dad.
bit on
Yeah.
it.
Are you gonna
Hadrian
kill
hasn't
him?
killed
Are you
anyone
gonna
either.
kill Garth?
Piece of Garth out.
He's only mostly dead.
Yeah, you cast spare the dying on him, and the action, and then the wound seals up as as Addis takes the
I'll
bottle.
smash the bottle and like
Let the
reattach the
egg
skin
fall
piece.
out, and
Yeah.
it reassembles. You notice it moves around your hand and the bits and everything, and like reassembles itself.
For,
It
for
just-
comedic
it
effect,
looked
can I
like-
walk
it
in
looked
during
like-
this?
Make an Arcana check.
Who was that?
Okay.
Both of you,
I said,
Magnar
sorry.
and Addis.
23.
So what you're able to figure out is it tries to avoid everything,
Oh,
but
nat
if
20.
it can't,
Oh, so
It
you
fits the
you,
shortest
you
distance.
really have to force it essentially. Okay.
yeah.
Frosty, for comedic effect, can I walk in as the thing is just like shake my head and walk away? Like,
Hear me out.
I think this
If
is
we
why
could,
you're
like,
gone at the.
Yeah, this is while you're gone. You're gonna be
Okay,
gone for
okay.
a little while.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
this was
If
us
we
filling a bit of
handcuff
time.
someone and like could put part of the bottle on the handcuffs or something.
Look, I really wasn't thinking of it as a weapon. My first thought with the jar was to make like a compass. Because if I thought if it was slamming into the
Oh,
side
like
of
to
the glass, it would always be
navigate.
pointing us towards the other half of the glass.
That
then
would
we could
and that-
find
that
our
would work.
way.
That did work. It just broke through the
We would
glass.
we would need a heavier glass
Right.
probably.
Yeah, we did something.
But it
a
also
bit-
broke through Garth, so like I
It's
don't know
Garth
about
is
that.
through me.
fleshy. Garth is fleshy. Glass cuts through flesh.
I'm fairly sure.
Why don't we try with me and see what happens
Well,
with me?
I mean, it does.
No,
on the, sort of
no,
on the
let's
weapon
not try
side of
with
things, if you had a metal container that was strong enough to hold half of it, and another metal container that was strong enough to hold the other half of it, and you
So we
separated them
carry-
by some
we carry
distance.
a metal safe with us. Got it.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking more like a trap across the room, and you release it from one, it goes stum, at very high speed
Ooh,
straight
yeah.
through it. But it, mind you, if it then just sort of separates itself and divides around the thing you're trying to hit, that's not terribly useful.
No, but it does take the path
I
of
think I
least
like the
resistance.
idea of a compass a little better. Anyway, I don't mean to take up too much of your time. I'm just sort of curious about
No,
it.
it was a good idea.
I am also going to cast Cure Wounds at first level.
I like that
myself.
Westora's just sitting there in the chair watching
That is
you
literally
guys.
all I'm doing. I sat down, coming down to help, and the next thing I know,
Well,
Garth has had a piece of
Boys,
glass just go
right,
through
right,
him.
Listora, boys.
The boys,
I'm,
gosh.
I'm glad I could be of help, Magno.
You might want to take a little bit of a
Were you
rest.
really of help?
We don't know
Alright.
today. Yeah.
If there's no other option, it'll go straight through with flesh. If there is an option, it'll go around it. So
Well,
yes, that
it's-
was.
It's a good
Productive.
it's a good threat to use against someone. We show off the bottle and then say you're next.
Look what we could do to Garth if he lies on the ground.
And then God lays down, we do it, and then it's like, that could be you if you don't
Yeah,
listen.
it could be we murder Garth to prove a
Right.
point. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Did you just murder your own friend? It's
That's
like-
alright.
Yeah.
He's been worse.
We're on
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they killed Garth again.
It's alright. He's been through worse.
Oh, I will have to pop. I will be right back in 2 minutes.
All right, Listora, are you saying anything to the boys, or to discuss what's going on?
What about them killing Garth?
Killing Garth? Anything about plans for Godric, the Masquerade?
Yes. I think the one question we need to discuss, okay. So first off, we need to like ASAP, get that ring now. Like previously, I thought, oh well, I don't really want to steal it. It's really not my cup of tea. But considering that the person we saw that might be doing the heist might actually be working for Godric, then we need to get it. Like
check
now.
to see that if it's even there anymore, right?
yeah,
We've
well,
already
if
taken
it's
it,
still
yeah.
and if it is there, we need to get it tonight.
Right, but here's the thing:
I-
if we get caught, we're
Yeah.
kind of fucked. The whole
And
thing.
and I don't
Well-
know if Jill's gonna get us out of that.
Well, if our plan was to get it, then we either do it now, or I'm afraid we're gonna have to come up with some other plan to bring Godric to getting it. The other
My-
option
my
is to
main-
just watch the museum, keep an eye on, try to find that little guy.
Maybe when
I
he
think-
steals it, we steal it back.
When he steals, well,
He
yeah,
may
because my
already have
concern
stolen
also
it
is
after he
that
spent all that
well,
time in the library.
Yeah, well, my plan was for us to wait for him to get it and then steal from him. But
Actually, do you
I-
know that
I-
it was the ring he was interested in? Or was he interested in the library and museum in general?
no, he was interested in the ring. That's why we
Yeah.
used him.
do we know that specifically though? Because I thought it
I'm
got,
pretty sure it was.
I remember he was
obvious.
casing the joint, I think you phrased it.
Yeah, but he was casing, like we saw him while he was looking at the
Oh, right.
at the
Well, so we should know if
sarcophagus
it's
thing.
there, but we do know that Godric's in town, which is concerning.
you know,
Right, which is why I'm worried about him taking it, because he's not going to take it and then go to a safe place where we can then take it from him.
Oh,
He's going to take it and bring it straight to Godric.
I think I'm more comfortable with stealing it from the guy who stole it.
No,
Than
but
rather
that's
here's
my
the
spraying
thing.
point.
it.
Here's the thing
If
too.
we
We're
try to
not.
steal from him, we'll be stealing it from Godric.
do you think he works
Exactly.
for Godric?
And then we're not also stealing from the museum. We're stealing
Yeah.
from a thief, which is more.
I don't
Back
want
to
to.
the
I don't
museum.
want to have to face Godric.
I don't. Oh, we get it before it gets to Godric. We get him right
No.
up the museum.
You would
then
rather
the-
commit an illegal act and possibly get caught and like arrested than accidentally, than piss off Godric, which we've done like multiple times already.
I'm not worried about pissing him off. I'm worried about like a direct confrontation.
He's not. He's sending someone else to steal it. He's not
Right.
going to steal it.
That's what I'm saying. We intercept him on his way out of the museum.
Well, then we need to go to the museum and keep an eye on the place all night.
I like this camera shot.
Yeah.
Which one of Millie?
It's the new party member.
The new
That's right.
party member, yeah.
This is Millie. Yeah.
But I think that we can get him out of the museum first thing when he steals it.
My also main concern is that for a heist to work, we're not the right people for that. Like, we're not going to be able to get
Look,
in and
a
out
heist-
undetected.
A heist
you know?
isn't my first choice, but if we're going to try to get this guy, then we need to go to the museum tonight and start
Yeah.
staying up all night, keeping an eye on it, because we don't know when
I
this guy's going to
definitely
strike.
agree.
Or we have to find him like now.
Why don't we tell Jill? Jill could put the necessary things in place to keep it from getting stolen.
I would kind of be okay with that, but I do think, as much as
We still don't
I
have a good way to
disagree
contact
with
him.
Hadrian's greater view of disliking everything noble, Jill was one of the people trying to become godlike,
Right.
and I don't know what the ring's role in that is fully.
But here's the thing. Godric has
I don't
three
want
of
him
them.
getting the ring.
Godric
Godric
has
has
got
4 of
four.
them.
Godric has 4. Math is hard. Godric has 4 of them. I would rather have Jill have 1 and Godric have 4 than Godric have 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I have
I'd
to agree
rather
with Garth
us
on
have
this.
1, Jill have none, and Godric have 4.
Would it not be better to tell Jill and then go anyway? Right.
also
like
have
have
a-
Jill as a backup, because if you're worried about us going, if we steal it, there's just as much of, if we try and go steal it, there's just as much of a chance that we encounter Godric or piss him off in doing so compared to just stealing it from him. Like either way, there's going to be the same risk. So if you're worried about that, then
And we also have a man made of 12 feet of stone. He might be the little
I'm
bit
not gonna.
easy to see.
Yeah. I'm actually like okay at hiding myself. It's more of the, if I get seen at all, I'm a dead giveaway.
Kind of
and like
Yeah.
and they know it's me. Like I don't have a good,
Well,
you know.
all right. Well then, if we want to go with Jill, but you get to break that news to Hadrian.
All right.
Speaking of which, Hadrian walks in the door.
Frost, is this a short rest?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend some hit dice.
Yeah, I walk in and carrying 3 books.
Adrian, we were just talking.
Screw the devil.
Wastora wants to try and get this ring.
Yeah, it's a good
We
idea.
were- but a heist isn't really. We're not
Shoot
really
us.
set up for a heist, so we're thinking that maybe what we should do is try and wait and like keep an eye on the place and see if we see them stealing it, and then try and like steal it from the person who stole it.
Yep,
rather than
makes
trying-
sense.
Yeah.
We're thinking of contacting Jill and just seeing if he could do, because we can only stay there for so long. If he could put like a scry or something on there and tell us and alert us, or track the person, it's a better way of being able to case the joint than us just trying to stay there all night.
And
right?
if Godric does get the ring, we have a scrying thing on Godric at that point as well.
Yeah, if Jill
Um,
knows he has the ring, he might be able to do a thing with that and get a
Tell
better
us
Hey.
where
scry.
he's at.
No, we don't.
What do you mean? we
Because Godric, the fact that he knows Jill, if Jill knew that Godric had a ring, it doesn't mean he can scry on him. He has to have a specific.
don't? I'm saying if he
Oh,
put a
God.
scrying spell on the
If he
ring,
put a thing on the ring, if he could prepare and put a spell on the ring, that might be able to curse Godric or get him better insight into Godric. Like
I
Jill could think of something, I'm sure. I know we know you don't trust Jill, but do you really want Godric to get another one of these rings? We're not.
no,
We're not.
I
perfect.
don't. But you know what I also don't want? I don't want Jill to get one of them. I don't want anybody who wants the powers of a god to get one of those rings. I shouldn't get one of those rings. But anyone here would be a better choice than fucking Godric or Gilles de Rais.
but what's
and-
worse, Godric with 5 or Jill with 1?
I would say, before we jump to the assumption that Godric is already trying to steal the ring, before we give Jill that can you imagine what Jill would do with
We
that
know
ring?
he's trying to steal the ring.
Also,
I
Jill
would
do you-
say that you've
what
just
Stora
got
does.
one sort of ring
Jill
powered.
could have gone for this ring before. Like, if Jill's been here this entire time, he probably knows
Jill
that
might
there's a
not know
magic
it's
ring.
there.
Yeah, it took us a bit to spot it.
It's a massive.
Took you
If it's
guys
a
a bit.
massive magical item and it's sitting in a museum, why do you think anybody knows it's there? What if they don't? It blended into the sarcophagi. They might not even know it.
You guys recall, you only recognized that it was one of the rings because you'd seen
Right, and that's
Godric's.
and I
But,
remember
but
that.
Jill's
Pointed out.
also but Jill's also seen
No,
Godric
he
move.
hasn't. He has not in that same way though. Not with the rings like flashed.
He
He has not in that same way though. Not with the rings like flashed.
didn't he fight
That
Godric?
fight that
What-
they had at the camp. Probably used
Yeah.
the
Well,
ring.
that would still require him to have had to decide to have a stroll around the museum.
And we also don't know
That
that
is
he
true.
saw Godric use the rings. We only know he fought Godric. Godric only used the rings when he saw us, and Jill came after.
Hear me out.
So what?
Hear me
What
out.
does a
What
heist
if
look
we
like?
what if we just tell Jill that Godric's going after something in this museum? We can tell. we
No,
can
he'll
say
tear
it's
the
not a
museum
ring.
apart to work out.
Yeah,
what
he
it
will.
is.
And then if we do that, we lose. So again, the thing is, Jill looks around like, I don't trust him. Okay, I don't trust many people, but I do trust all of you, and I would much rather try and stake out that museum and get in there.
But here's the thing: we can trust Jill to be untrustworthy, right? Like we know that.
With
But we
Stora,
don't know the extent of it.
Yes.
as they are arguing and debating, you were helping translate the book, so please make intelligence save.
Okay.
Which book, the Ishgardian one or the Fate one?
The Ishgardian one.
Do I get that because I was reading it, or?
Nope. You were getting flashbacks.
Oh,
My rolled a
great.
6.
Inspiration?
What language was that book written in?
Yeah, I might
I
as well spend
can't-
my inspiration. $13.
Okay. Just barely beat it. So you're kind of bored listening to them argue. Yeah, you've said your piece, you're looking at the book, kind of flipping through. And remember it's Ishgard, so you start looking through and you notice, kind of buried in the book, you wouldn't have thought, but it's because they're arguing about it and you're looking at the book in the process and kind of noticing a thing on one page and going, that looks kind of like the ring, kind of looking around. You kind of follow to the part about Ishgard and the battle in this part of the book that discusses the fall of Ishgard and the destruction of Aruk. And while Hadrian was flashbacking, seeing these kind of artistic depictions of what people imagined the battle looked like, the thing that you notice is this dragon. It's at the tail end of the book. This dragon that kind of resembles an exaggerated mythical version of the dragon you saw over Versailles. Definitely, it's close enough that you make the connection that this is supposed to be that same dragon being broken into 5 pieces. And a small mention of something called the Daughters of Tiamat.
Okay.
And the runes, in kind of like the magic runes that are drawn in these 5 pieces, match each of the runes that are on the rings that Godric wears.
All right. I'll interrupt as I'm sitting there flipping through the book, and I'll say, Hadrian, do you remember from your memories of long ago something called the Daughters of Tiamat?
I remember the child of Eo and Tiamat. I remember Ptolemy. I remember the dragon breaking in the sky as fire rained down upon the land. And I saw Godric summon it. A spectral version, but if those rings are connected, if he gets that 5th one, he might summon it for real.
So that
But-
dragon we saw in the square back.
That also might imply, by the way, that these rings aren't necessarily keeping the ring separated is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Letting Jill have one isn't that bad. As
It may
as
not,
letting Godric
it
have
may not
5.
help Jill do anything.
Right,
yeah.
but at
If you
some
need
point,
all
there's
5.
going to be a fight between Jill and Godric, and you've got 4 rings on
And-
one side, 1
and
ring on
we're
the
gonna-
other, and if the
and
4
we're
rings
gonna be
win,
there.
now you've
Are
got
you
5.
sure we will? Don't you
Well,
think?
let's say Godric comes back for us and we have the ring. We're dead either way too. We can't take him on.
You guys are making a lot of hypotheticals, honestly. And if we keep doing these hypotheticals, by the time we get to it, we're gonna
Right,
try
that-
and go steal that ring, and it's already A, gonna be gone, or B, we're not gonna be powerful enough to stop it from being stolen. And in that case, we're just screwed.
If Jill
Right.
has it, he could put it somewhere that Godric is going to have a hard time getting to.
Can I just say, you all are putting a lot of faith in the power Gilles de Rais has. You know, we fought him.
All we're doing is putting faith in the fact that he has more power than us. That's
No,
it.
but that's
That he
but that's
has
what
more
I'm
power
saying.
and influence.
But this is what I'm saying. Remember when we fought him that time, when we were weaker than we were before? We drew blood, aka out of game. We
Right.
bloodied him, and
He's
he
got,
ran. No,
he's
no,
got resources.
I'm
We're
sure.
5 people. He's got a country backing him.
Does he really?
I
You
believe
think
so. He's got law mages he can help
He
you.
is even if he doesn't like the
Ah,
queen,
no,
he is still a
see-
cousin to the queen.
For having all these resources, I have to say his attack in the caravan was
Right.
He's
terrible.
not the smartest. No.
No,
but
no, it's Goth. Everyone, think about it. Since we've met Jill, he has been conniving, insulting his cousin, and playing things close to the vest, claiming to be an investigator, which we saw was not the case. He gave you a false ring, a Witherbloom disguised as a Prismari.
all I'm saying.
I don't think he has the backing of Amaris in this.
All I'm saying is,
So
if we steal
Who
the
are you
ring,
saying? Who are you saying that we can turn to then? Who are you saying that we can use?
I think we
Or
need
have
to
as a
trust in
backup.
each other. Honestly.
we steal that ring, we put a big target on our back for Godric.
Oh, we've got one already.
We
had one
already
for a
have
while.
one.
It's even bigger.
Fine.
He's gonna kill us if we take that ring.
I accept that cost.
Right, and
Can
as
we-
soon as he does, he's got the 5th ring.
Wistora was about to say something.
Can we destroy the ring?
I mean, if it's a powerful magical item, it would be near impossible.
If it's from ancient lands, if it's far this long, I
Especially
don't
if it's
think
a
gonna
fifth
break.
of like a dragon, right? Like,
A big one,
That's-
too.
yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. Let me just pose this. We fight Godric at the masquerade.
And die.
No. I'm. Let me finish.
And let him, let him.
My
get to
bad.
Jill
that.
has one of the rings.
Mhm.
Godric is defeated. He vanishes to come back in whatever form he does. Now Jill has all 5 rings. Do you know
But
what?
we're there, right?
No, but we're there in the midst of Amarisian power. Do you know what terrifies me? Anybody with all 5 of those rings. Do you think Jill would hesitate for a second to summon Ptolemy to destroy everything not Amarisian, to cleanse the land of warlocks and those he deems invalids, which by the way is fucking everybody? Like, I know we have to stop Godric. But I can't. I also don't think we can trust Jill to help us with it without creating a greater problem.
Jill
Like me.
said Godric can't be killed. Right.
I said stop. I did not say kill.
That's assuming that if Godric does be defeated, he leaves the rings behind.
Also, that also assumes that Jill will immediately know how to use these rings.
That's true.
There's a period
I
of time in which, like, you're making a lot of assumptions, and I get it. We can't trust Jill, but you are basically saying we can't trust him, and therefore we should just try and put this all on ourselves and possibly doom the world in the process, right? There's either way you're saying we're screwed, right?
Yeah, actually, I am. But
And rather than just say either way we're screwed, I think we should try and at least take a route that gives us a safety, that
chance.
gives us a backup
I don't
plan.
think
Gives us
going
a
with
plan.
Jill gives us that chance. I think going with Jill is
It's
They're
not
both-
worse.
no, it's not worse. It's not better though. They're both greater evils. I think we're the lesser evil here. I think trying The worst that happens.
Is we fail and he gets the ring.
Yes.
That's
okay.
the worst that happens.
That is the very worst that happens. But
No, that's
No.
just the worst because
I-
that's he could already have it.
I know, but this is the thing. So you said you're making assumptions. Why don't we go check? Why don't we go to the museum and see what the fuck is going on? And if it's still there, if Jill doesn't know it's there, if maybe Godric is here looking for it and he doesn't even know where it is. We don't know shit. But I'm not ready to capitulate that much power to a man like Jill.
I mean, the
Because
fair
I
point
know
is
what
that-
he is, and I know what I was. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but to Addis's earlier point about hypotheticals, right? If the ring's not there, not much we can do. If the ring, unless we have control of the ring, then it matters not all our discussions, because unless we have control of the ring, we can't decide where it goes or what it does.
It's true.
And we're not
Right.
going to be able to get control of the ring.
So, like,
But-
step one, get control of the ring.
Unless we try
And if
and
we can't complete
yeah.
step one, there's no point to any of this.
Right, and let's say we get it. We get it. Then maybe if we
But-
really want to,
Well, then we
talk
could
to
have a
Jill.
whole on debate.
Right,
about what
right,
we do with
exactly.
it.
And like, do we tell Jill and say use this to lure Godric, or do we just keep it in case? I don't know. All I know is that
Right. My point is, there's not
Yeah.
much
Let's
point
go
in
check.
deciding what we're
Let's
going to
go
do with
check.
it, unless we
Yeah.
find that we can actually have anything to
Let's
do
do
with
it.
it.
All right. Shall we go to the museum then?
All right. You guys are going to head off to the museum, and it is a little early, but I think we're going to call it here for tonight. As you guys make your way to the museum,
because we have a heist next session.
So thank you everyone for watching. It was wonderful having you here with us. We are ending just a little early tonight. This is just a really good place to call it rather than get into all the nitty gritty and possible stuff going on at the museum. Great having all of you back at the table.
3 hours. We're good.
And other than that, we will see you next Thursday. So say goodnight, Gracie.